That shit was crazy, man.
Yo, you legit crying?
Dude, man. If I turn my camera on, this shit would be crazy. It was just such a beautiful piece of art, man. I just finished watching it like a few minutes ago. So take the shirt off. Um, dude, I don't even know where to start, man. That shit, let the emotions drain, bruh. It was um, it was just a lot. And you know what's crazy is like you think about like how there's so much more. You know, there's just so much more left. I don't want to make this awkward or anything, man, but it was just a really powerful couple hours. Whew. I think the first time I started to tear up was when just like kind of his upbringing, like with Davidson, and like he was like just didn't get the recruitments, and like that's the stories of like the one that got me was when Bob McKillop was like um his mom, Steph's mom is saying like, oh, don't worry, we'll fatten him up for you, and then he said we'll take him just as he is, you know. That
Oh
was
yeah, that got me too. That got me too.
that was crazy, man. Just like you just these like little things kind of make the legend. It makes the story, you know. So but hey, that was a beautiful piece of art. I wish they did focus a little bit more on his like early career. They spent a little bit of time on the his injuries like with his ankles and stuff, and like kind of his struggles there early on. But I wish they maybe touched on that a little bit more because that shit was a problem early on in his career. He had the surgeries. He missed some time. A lot of doubt, went on earlier. It's just the first. I mean, his rookie year he played well, but the next two seasons, a lot of doubt. So yeah, that'll be for the next doc. Yeah, yeah. I'm looking forward to it, man. And part of why I'm so emotional is because actually, if you guys don't know, I've been working on my own Steph doc, and it's actually kind of similar to this one in a lot of ways.
I haven't cried yet, by the way, but it's coming.
Dude, this shit was beautiful, man. It was just, and I know. Did you guys notice
I
that?
just saw the part where he went down against Boston. I remember what I was thinking when that happened. I was like, "Oh shit, season's over."
I'm tasting my salty tears right now. My tears are salty.
Yo, I just
Um,
finished watching
Epic.
that shit. That shit was
yeah,
fire.
it was just beautiful, man. It kind of had to be done. Now, when you think about it, it kind of had to be done now, because just even though I know there's more for him to accomplish or whatever, like, um, it just the story ended so perfectly last year. Like what happened last year was so perfect. Uh, you just kind of had to just put a pin on it and
It's
kind of.
Hollywood,
Yeah,
dog.
you had to make a doc. You had to make a doc.
I mean,
Yeah,
I'm working on mine, man, but that'll come out in due time. But man, if it can live up to what this is, I mean, that I think it will. I'm confident in kind of how like this was very moving to me, but I'm hoping that I can get to that point because there was a lot of just light that was shed on it, and he really shared his Steph did like a Facebook documentary like a few years back, like 3 years ago,
oh, I didn't see
and
that shit.
yeah, it was like 4 years ago, and um, he kind of shed light on a lot of similar, you know, stuff like just kind of his early career, his kind of the Davidson upbringing and whatnot, and his
Uh,
college, and then kind of his journey. But this was definitely more condensed and definitely more detailed in a lot of ways. Like it was condensed, but it really you could get more insight, from it
yeah, it was
overall.
mostly like college stuff. That's it.
Wow.
I just
Yeah,
love that parallel between the stuff at Davidson and 2022. Just like it's the way they weave that in together.
That's crazy. Nah, dude, I don't care. I'm not ashamed to say that. because that shit was special to me. If people don't think it was special, that's their opinion, man.
It's special, man. It's
But
special.
it's not. You're not gonna guilt me into thinking that, like that. It's not. Like you're not gonna make me feel bad about how I feel, because that's how I feel, man. That's an Austin Reeves fan can't tell me that shit because he's an Austin Reeves fan. He'll never. But you know the one thing with that KD scene, that shit kind of that was early in the doc. That was like
Yeah,
4 minutes in or something. It was like 5 minutes
most
in.
misunderstand person in the league.
I think it's kind of crazy to see like I think and I hope that they'll do something down the line with like Draymond, Clay, KD, like they'll do a more like kind of a team Golden State Warriors oriented like dynastic run sort of thing with the doc, but I do think there's a lot of truth to what Steph said in terms of like KD being the most understood man. Obviously we don't know all the stories yet, but I'm sure there's a lot to tell, and I kind of feel bad for KD in some ways too because I just think he gets a lot of shit, and Steph gets a lot of shit too, and I don't know. I just feel like sometimes, like I don't think KD's the dude that's like doing the production stuff and trying to do all this shit. Steph's not that guy either, really. Like this, Steph doesn't really do stuff like this. Like there's not a lot of cameras around. Like KD kind of just he's a gym rat, man. But the man works his butt off. Steph works his butt off.
Nah,
Like
Katie had an interview in 2014 OKC. It wasn't with the Warriors, but it was back then with the Thunder. It's on YouTube. It's like 51 minutes. It was like off season though, so you can go check.
yeah, dude. Woo, that was good, man. I would give it like a solid 8.5, 9 out of 10. That shit was like a 9. And I'm a harsh grader too, because like I still wish there was a little bit more on the Warrior side of things, with like his early career stuff, because that stuff that they kind of brushed over it a little bit because they spent like a couple minutes on it. But
Yeah,
I
they
wish
need a
they
mini.
spent a
Dre,
little
Dre,
They need a
more.
but the
mini series.
interior story, like, okay, you see with like cinema, like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
the greatest movies or the greatest documentaries are like everybody always says, "Oh, Scarface is an amazing, amazing movie." But it's not the drugs or hey, say hello to my little friend. It's the struggle of a Cuban immigrant
Right,
surviving in the streets of Miami and making something of himself and the relationships. Or like Catch Me If You Can. It's not just about the fraud and the con man and the writing of checks. It's the relationship that
right,
he had with his mother versus his father. So the interior story was the relationship that he had with Coach, and
right,
Coach giving him
right.
confidence.
That's
And
true.
this is the seed why we know Steph Curry as we is today, the hard
Yep,
worker, all those things. Like in
yep.
reality, even he's saying it at the beginning, everybody doubted me. Like that's what he was saying.
Yes,
Like his mother
yes.
didn't think he would really be there. His father didn't think so. Like he didn't have the like the athletic, super athletic ability, the like he was a buck 50 soaking wet. His team seen it. And then when they seen him in that first game and he had those 13 turnovers, African was like, dog, what did we sign up for? Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Like, is this even going to work? And because you got to remember at that time, 2007, 8, 9, basketball was 90% about height. You understand what I'm saying? You're
No,
coming
you're
out of
right.
the era of like the
Yeah.
Penny Hardaway, the Grant Hills, like big guards. That was the emergence of the big guards. So to come in, Steph went to school at 6 feet tall, bro. His senior year, he was 5'11", going to 6 feet. He, as a freshman, he was 6 feet, a buck 50. Like this story is like to see how far the journey he's come from
Yeah, so
is
McKillop,
like
I'll say
unbelievable,
this.
bro.
I always knew Bob McKillop was like a big part of the story, but I didn't like when you kind of break it down and like those little nuggets, right? Of like, okay, I'll give you one part that was that kind of got me was like we all kind of remember. I remember like hearing this like the last few years and kind of watching like the Steph stuff where you'll hear like, oh yeah, that first game he had 13 turnovers. He played horribly. Like that was kind of like a famous story. But then I didn't know that like they had conversations about like that was a big moment. They were like,
Bro,
yeah,
remember that was a
Dude,
what the hidden and what in movies or film it's called the hidden innuendos. What the
right,
hidden innuendo was like this is preseason. Are we just gonna redshirt him and
Yeah.
get him ready? Like, cause he's not ready at this level. But then
Yes.
Steph even thought after that, he's like talking to him, psyching himself up, and then when he says you're starting, he's like, "What? Okay." Like, and that's what gave him the confidence.
Yes.
Oh, he got that
And he
Yes.
second
kept on
chance.
speaking about confidence. Confidence is the key word. Just
Yes.
like just like when he was in his living room and his mom was like, "Don't worry, coach, we're gonna get him fat." No, I'll take him just like how he is. And Steph said that's what gave him the confidence to know that a D1 coach can do. Because remember, this story is about a lot of confidence and then there's lack of confidence. And then he went in showing off to his boys like, "Yo, dog, I'm going to Davidson." They looked at him with 10 heads
I
like,
know.
"Dog,
Yeah.
Wait,
where's
who
Yeah.
that?"
the where the
Yeah.
fuck is Davis?
That's not Duke. That's not North Carolina. That's not Kentucky. That's not Kansas. You understand
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And he kind of felt deflated, and he had to come back to earth. You know what I mean? But like, even when he's wearing when he's went to the Christian school, like in the elementary, he's wearing the yellow jerseys. That's when he's in Toronto, right? And
Yep.
he's thinking like, "Yo, like this is what it is. I'm doing the do." Now he's getting ready to go to high school. You know what I mean? And then he's played his year, he did his thing, but he's shooting from the hip. And then the struggle of
Yes.
totally
Changing it. Yep.
recreating his shot.
Yeah.
Like in my head, I was thinking that's just an elevation. Like as he got bigger, he got stronger, he just switched it. Bro, this guy worked on three months and couldn't hit the fucking broadside of a barn, bro, to being the greatest shooter ever.
Dude.
Bro, this guy's the GOAT, bro. You
That's
don't even understand.
dedication.
It's
Hey.
about traveling. It's about
Yeah.
traveling. Like perfect
Yeah.
example. What we say all the time because I'm always on Zoom calls and tech meetings and that. Like Jay-Z is the GOAT. Like he's like the absolute GOAT. But when it comes to business, everybody always says, "Yo, Jay-Z's amazing. He's a billionaire." But at the end of the day, I'm not saying I downplay it. But at the end of the day, Live Nation gave him 150 million to start. All he did was 7x that money in 11 years.
Hey, I want to put a poll in the chat. It's 100% anonymous, but I want to know how many people cried during the doc. Vote in the
Definitely
poll.
teared up. I teared up,
I
bro.
just
I'm not
voted.
gonna
I
lie.
teared up.
Nah, I didn't cry.
It's 100%. We cried, teared
No,
up,
no,
teared
no.
up.
You guys, we don't even talk about it. Let's just speak on it after the polls out. Just everybody
Yeah.
answering the
It's
poll.
all anonymous. It's all anonymous.
And also Dre retweeted on the timeline because it's late. I'm on the East Coast, but
Yeah, I got you.
a lot of
Yeah.
people don't even know this is really going on right now, or not everybody has the notifications. Everybody and for future and playback, make sure everybody's notifications are on. So when Dre starts something or Urkel starts something or Bruce starts something like or Guz, we know right away. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I put it in the chat. So
Yeah. So and then we go back on the timeline and retweet it. If everybody retweets it, worst comes to worst, 20, 30 people are coming in here. We always need over 100 people. That's just the baseline. 100, 150 people.
yeah, dude, that was a great. It was a masterful. It you know
But
it
but
was
but but you know what? It is great, but there's certain nuances you have to watch it again. Like tomorrow, you got
yeah
to go
for sure
back in.
for sure.
You got to go back because there's little nuances and little things. Like I'm very meticulous because film, television, sports, and like music. That's been my background for the last 20 something years plus. Like I know a lot about films because I used to write treatments when I was younger. When I used to live in LA, I wrote. You ever seen that video, Hate It or Love It, with Game and 50 Cents?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
wrote
I
I
that
seen it.
treatment. You understand what I'm saying? Like I used to work. I used to write treatments for Jesse Torero and Chris Robinson at Robot Films.
That's
So
what's
many
up. That's
videos
what's
that
up.
you guys see out there. I wrote all those treatments back in the days. You know what I'm saying? So like I understand film and I understand television and sequence and everything like that. And the way they did that documentary, that's why it's showing the transition and the similarities. Even how Steph is dribbling at fucking 9 years old, bro. Did you see that kid swag at 9? And then you look now, it's not even that much different. It's just like, you understand what I'm saying? Like his confidence at 9 years old, even though he was so small, and he even stated, he's like, I looked around. And because remember, he played up. He played with the 10-year-olds. He played 1 year up. He's looked around. He's like, I'm the smallest, but one thing I can do, I can shoot. And that's when I knew I was different. He said that word different about eight
Yeah.
times during
Yeah,
the during that thing. So he's even saying, like, dog, like, it is what it is, but I know I'm different compared to all these dudes in the league. Like, dudes can hoop, don't get me wrong, but I'm different. So you're gonna see the continuation of this. And that's where you're gonna see the detail in the earlier careers. The reason why they left it out is that's how you kind of know, like with the Star Wars or the Dark Knights or the
Right.
Matrix, when they have trilogies and you're wanting more, you know there's gonna be like a continuation of this. Underrated and may go to appreciated, and then it may go to something else, and then you may get the nuances of his early career capped off by his fucking when he wins 7 chips and the KD story and what really happened with Draymond and like so there's a whole trilogy that has to go on for sure. You know what I mean?
Dude, yeah, dude. It was just so, and I think the biggest takeaway, and you're right. I have to rewatch it again because it was the small stuff. It wasn't even the big. We knew the big stuff, bro. We knew he broke the record. We knew, I think we all have seen like KD like in the trailer. Like we kind of had an idea that they met up. Remember they took pictures and stuff when he
Yeah,
broke the record. Like we
yeah.
kind of knew these things, like even like the big things, kind of we knew, and the small.
Yeah.
But like it's the small things that made the difference. Like the little stories, like the little inflection points, were like if one thing goes different, one thing goes wrong, if one thing kind of shifts, like we don't know. But you know what I will say? The story of this whole thing is that even if that one thing did go wrong, I still think he would end up the same place he is today because he hadn't let anything that had come up from an adversity standpoint stop him to that point. So what, like, even if it had gone even worse, right, and he had, struggled in Davidson his freshman year,
Yeah.
let's say they did bench him. Let's say they did, like, I still think he would have found a way to overcome those
Yeah,
things.
man, that man's special. But one thing you guys got to know is the distance of the journey dictates shit, man. Like the
That's a
little
fact.
stories.
The
Like
little
he
things.
didn't have a springboard his entire career. What I mean by that is like when you get a boost, like you're the number one recruit in America.
Yep.
So there's only you can only really go up. If you go down, yeah, obviously you failed, but you're starting at such a high point. It's like in the 4x100 when you get the middle lane, it's the best lane because you can see on either side. You kind of get a head start. You don't got to go deep around the corners, so there's an advantage there. This man started from the bottom, no recruits, being at Davidson, then
The
going number 7.
literal
That
bottom.
distance alone is like
Hmm.
he fucking ran a marathon, bro, while other people are doing 100-meter sprints.
Yo,
And I ain't
Rome,
calling no names,
if
but
that's
bro,
actually Rome, I sent you an invite to come on stage. I don't know if that's actually him though. So I mean, I hope it is. But I sent you an invite. All right. Yo, we got a lot of people here. L dot, you watched it, right?
Yo, what's good, y'all?
Well, what's up, Rome? Hey, I'll make you a mod.
Yeah.
What's good, bro?
Hey, yeah, I gotta DM you, Dre. I gotta DM you, bro. I gotta ask you about this playback.
Oh, I thought that was a troll.
No,
Got
no,
so many
I had a
trolls in
feeling.
there.
I had a feeling it was that. I had a feeling.
No, it's me, bro. I don't know why I would be trolling. No, I'm gonna DM you though about this playback. This is cool. I want to do my own little thing, but I just don't know
For sure. No,
how to start it.
I'll set you up. I got you.
All right, bro, for sure. I haven't watched the thing though. I'm gonna watch it tonight. Before I go to bed.
riveting.
It's a good.
Honestly,
Yeah,
I
it's a good
already know it's gonna be good, bro. Like,
work of art. Work of art.
I already know, bro. I've been watching like watching Steph closely, probably since like his sophomore year at Davidson, like really when he like started booming, like March Madness, like that type of era, like that was like ever since then, you know. I remember when like Johnny Flynn and like Ricky Rubio was like being talked about, and I was telling people, bro, Steph is like, bro, he's gonna be better than these dudes. Like I don't know. Y'all remember that Minnesota picked
Yep.
Yeah,
Minnesota and New
they had
York.
He
two
passed on them
after they.
twice.
Yeah, Johnny Flynn. Then they took 2 point guards,
Yeah.
Yep, yep.
and Ricky
I
Rubio
remember
was
them days,
Spain, and he was
man.
in the EuroLeague, and he went there at 16 years old, so they thought he was this huge phenomenon.
Yeah, no. So I've been there. Dre knows though.
No, facts, man. I got you.
There's a 2-month free thing that he put out though.
Yeah, it's there's a free trial for Apple TV Plus, so if you don't already have it, you could just get that for free, watch the doc, and then cancel it if that works or whatever. But
Because usually it's just 1 week, but Steph set it up for 2 months for people.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yo, he's a fucking goat for that,
The
bro.
goat for that, man.
2 months is crazy.
No, he's getting serious about his business acumen and like taking the film. At the end of the day, this motherfucker won an Oscar, dog. Like, come on, man. What are we doing here, man? This guy won an Oscar, NBA champion. Like, he's just cementing his legacy. Like, remember, after it was really from him, like he gave the mid major that super notoriety. Like, it was that tournament. It was that year. He made mid majors like it was okay to go. Like, you know what I mean? Like it was possible. Like, you know how many guys in the league after Steph got in the league on the strength that there was eyeballs on mid majors now or low D ones? Like, perfect example, Dame Lillard went to Weber State. CJ McCollum had that one game against Duke. He had 30 against Duke. It changed his life. So now eyeballs were on mid majors and low majors, and he changed that. He revolutionized that, just like how Kevin Garnett and Kobe and all these guys revolutionized like the jump from high school and it could actually work, and the Jermaine O'Neals and you know what I mean, and Juwan Howard with the $100 million contract. Like, there's certain guys that just had left the imprint in the league, and he's one of them, bro. Like Bron being a number one pick from coming out of high school, the ESPN games, like. This shit is just like, bro, all I know is I got goosebumps, bro, because his story, I love the underdog shit, man. As a kid from the trenches, bro, like, I love the underdog shit. Like, you could just make something out of nothing. That was fucking amazing, bro. And we seen, everybody always thinks that because your pops played in the league, it's easy. Nobody gave a fucking shit, bro. Did you see how Coach K was even talking about him? Like, he was talking about him like, oh, what a great story.
Yeah.
But he was fucking
bro,
so sarcastic.
How they
bro.
said they
He
missed
was
him
so
in their camp.
sarcastic, and
Because
he
he
was
was
in the
small.
moment.
No,
He
you
was
know what?
in
No,
the
no,
moment,
Shadow,
bro. He was so
I'll tell you,
sarcastic, bro.
that was a good point, Shadow. So I actually, when I heard that clip, I felt the same way. It felt like he's a good story, like any other fluke good story in college. Like,
Yeah, that's a nice little cute story. You know what I mean?
no, but here's the thing. It sounded like it didn't feel like, because there's people that were like, you know, that the reporter, the Davidson guy that was like, I don't know, I remember his name, but he was like I guess he was a local kind of.
Yeah. And he turned into an
like,
author. He wrote a book too on Steph too.
I didn't even know that. Yeah, that guy. He was like, yo, this guy's different. Remember, like he said,
Are they the best team in the country?
Yeah. He's like, Steph took a three, missed it, got the rebound, took it again, and made it. And he's like looking at the coach. He's like, in the first few minutes of the game, he's like, this has never happened. This is something different. He saw that. This reporter from the area who
Dre,
doesn't really
Dre,
want to listen.
he said a freshman. He said he'd never seen a freshman get a green light like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's some shit you get benched
And
for.
then you got Coach K on interview saying basically Steph's like any other like nice little story where like
like it's a cute story. Like basically like Lynn Sanity. Like, oh, that's some cute Lynn Sanity. Like,
yeah. Exactly. It's fine though. I mean, it's part
dope
of the
shit,
legend.
man. Dope shit, man. Shit is good.
What took it for me was that
crazy?
70-point comeback. I'm like, yo, he's used to this shit, bro.
You know what was crazy was like they did the parallels in the conclusion in which when they were showing the run last 2 seasons for the championship sequence with him and Davidson. It was like he still does the same things back in his college days when he was at his peak, but he does it in the NBA. I thought that was very powerful to show like he's somewhat still the same dude, but he's on a greater plane now.
And you know what's ironic that you say that, Eldot? Did you guys see the Jeff Teague when Jeff Teague's like, I played the best defense of my life, and guess how much Steph had? Steph had 44, and he's on the podcast, and then he's like, yo, get the fuck out of here with that shaking and shimmy shit and the dancing on that shit, because they knew each other from younger, from like CP3 camp and all those things, because Nike used to have like Like when he was in that, they missed that part. Like I think it was in his sophomore year, going in his junior year. They have the Nike skill. It used to be called Nike skill development camps, and like it was for high school, but then they would have the college portion of it, and they would literally only take like maybe like 10 college guys, and usually like 8 out of the 10 were like for sure like lottery picks or like whatever. So Steph was starting to get on the radar. And then he told Jeff Teague, man, you got to sell yourself. Like, you got to like build a brand, and you got to get the crowd excited, and you're a brand. You got to do all these. So it's crazy to see in Davidson, he was already working on that. And in reality, at that time, Steph was the biggest nerd, bro. Like, when that man was a freshman, like, geek is not even an understatement. But he knew that, okay, I'm not the coolest guy, but at the end of the day, on the basketball court, I can morph into what I want to be. And he just manifested all the shit we see. The night, the shimmies, the shakes,
You
the
know what's
fucking
funny, Shadow?
step. Yeah.
Like Dre was talking about little moments in terms of like that stuck out to him. And to speak to that nerd part of Steph, did you catch that part where he's like, I forgot who said it, but they were like, yeah, Steph got punished or got his phone taken away because someone else.
Oh,
Yeah,
that was
it was the assistant coach.
no,
It was the
they were
assistant coach
recruiting.
for Davidson.
Yeah. That's the
Because he was panicking. He was like, oh, fuck, the
Right.
cat's out. Like, all these schools went and recruited him. I'm calling his pops. I'm calling his friends around him. I'm calling. And, bro, if you've seen, because obviously, I've been, like, quote-unquote handlers for a lot of, like, kids that were, like, NBA guys. And when the coaches fucking call you, bro, they call you like you argued with a ting, and you hung up on her, and she's just beating off your phone. So I know that man was panicking, bro. Because remember, assistant coaches in college, it's not about what they do on the bench, bro. It's about, this is how they come up in the ranks. What college recruits you get, who you lock in, what kids end up winning. That's what determines how you get to being a head coach. So that's his fucking job. He's a recruiter. So if he can't land Steph after everybody's like got excited about him, he was panicking. And then, as you say, man was grounded, dog. the man was grounded. He's 17 years old. He got grounded because a man texted him with swear words. Like, shit's fucking crazy. He's a little nerd, bro. But at the end of the day, bro, you gotta love him, bro. Like, that's what makes his story so great.
And the thing is that still exists in him, because at the very beginning with KD, he cussed. He's all sorry, mom. And it got blood.
No, but they included the part where the recruiters were trying to call him, but he missed a call, I think, for like 2 weeks because his mom took away his phone because someone else sent him a text message with a curse word.
Yo, did you guys already talk about this? Like, how do you view KD now after seeing that clip?
Bro, never mind that. How do you?
I already
view
know
him?
why you think.
No, but how do you view him after what you've seen today?
Right?
Like, what's he doing? Like, this is what I'm saying is like, is KD have some crazy secret animosity? Because you're like, he's damn near like showing so much emotion. Like, I love you, dog. Like, yo, you mean so much to me, dog. Like,
yes,
like all that, and then he'll do shit like, like, did you see? Like, perfect example. I think Angelo Clay Nation put up a post, and it shows and then someone said, bro, why did you like 30 burner goes, why did you like pictures like dissing Steph? Basically, he's like, yo, when I like it, I like the comment by accident. Right. And then you see there's literally nobody else liked it, and the man is not even tagged in the switching up. He's not even tagged, bro. The man is like a fucking search bar machine, bro. Like, what's wrong with this? I swear on everything he puts in the search bar: Kevin Durant, KD, Stephen Curry, Warriors, Gravity, and then fucking jumps on anybody who fucking says anything. This guy's a fucking certified weirdo,
switching
bro.
up hard on the
SB, don't
timeline
forget
today
Cupcake.
with all that shit today. So,
Cupcake.
people were coming at him left and right because of the comment he made on the the clip on the Grant Williams podcast. And it was about the ISO and off-ball stuff, and he was switching up hard because he was getting cooked on the timeline. He was like, no, but I wasn't saying that I was better than Steph. I was just saying that I just don't play ISO ball.
Yo, I did floppies and pin downs too. There's tape.
Yeah, bro.
Shut the fuck up, bro.
Hey man, somebody go get Case, man. Somebody go get Case to cook KD, bro.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, Dre.
Dre.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
let Lakers fan up in here?
Lakers fan, who? Rome's the GOAT, man.
Sam, come on.
I
Rome's
don't
cool.
Wait,
view
what?
I don't view
Wait,
Rome
what
as
happened?
I don't view Rome as a
Rome's
Laker.
cool. He's not one of those.
I don't
He's
view
not
Rome.
Guru.
I don't view
He's
Rome.
not
I
Laker
respect
Guru.
Rome way more than Guru.
Rome is beyond. Rome is
Oh, this is a Laker. I'm getting a Laker fan.
nah. Rome's beyond a fan.
Okay.
yeah,
I don't view him
Rome's
as a
a
Laker
goat.
fan.
Hey, listen. I'm a Laker fan, but Dre knows I'm a big Steph Curry. Like I'm a big Steph Curry fan. Like that's my guy. Actually, that's kind of how me and Dre became like pretty cool. Like in spaces we literally would talk about Steph. Like
Bro, me and
for a long
Rome
time.
go way. I've known Rome longer. It's like I've known Rome on this shit since like basically Shadow and Urkel. I mean, and Gifted and all them. We came up with Spaces like 2 years ago.
No, it's
We were
years,
the OGs.
bro.
We were making
Like when Spaces first started, type shit.
yeah.
For sure.
Hey,
For sure.
hey, remember after that Grizzlies game, we were in Spaces till like 3 a.m. with Shadow and Rome going after Dre
Oh yeah.
Was that this season or last season?
Yeah, this was this season. That was funny.
Oh,
At 6 a.m. space.
It was me,
You
Dre,
and Shadow.
and we were all co-hosting, and we were just all, yeah. Man, that's just, man.
That was funny.
Rome, I just finished. I sent you the instructions for the
Okay.
to create
I
like a room
I
and
just
stuff.
got this. I'm reading this right now.
So let me know if you struggle with anything. Just
I thought you guys did the All Access Lakers thing. Is that not yours?
So all access Lakers is actually
that's like its own
Aaron.
thing. I think that's like its own thing.
Oh,
Aaron,
okay.
he's the
Because I see
he's
you
like
and Shub's always up there.
So Aaron's like the mod, Shub, and then you guys know Raj. He's like a big Laker guy.
Yeah, Raj.
Shub and Raj, they like co-host with it. But like during the season, I would be in their playback, so like I'd watch games with them. But like I'm not even like a moderator or anything on there. I would just go up and just like chop it up because those are like my friends.
Nah, you want your own room. I 100% understand that for sure.
Yeah, well, because I'm in here, like, this is dope.
It's nothing against
I like
them.
this setup. Yeah, no. It's the same thing with like, you know, how me, Shum, and all the guys, we do our own space.
Exactly.
It's
just
are you guys doing like a Coach's Den playback?
Yeah, I think it would probably be something like that, but I don't know for sure. Like I don't know. I just gotta figure out. Like,
I'm gonna be honest, Rome, and this is just like as an outsider looking in, like
yeah, what's up?
Playback almost has a different feeling to it.
You
understand what I'm saying? It's just like
Rome,
the
it's pure. It's raw.
It's so pure. It's so pure. I think like you want to have like a separate brand to it because I'm gonna be honest, like we do have spaces people that come in here, but at the end of the day, we have a new whole organic audience that it's like they troll, but it's good trolling and it's fun and it's funny and it's comedy and then we talk about hoops and all that shit. But then we get deeper into life and we start talking about things that we would never talk on spaces because everybody's like so super Warriors out and so Lakers out. Like you could come in here, you start talking about hoops, then you start getting into Kobe, but you're not even talking about the Kobe. You're talking about afterlife, the Mamba mentality, Gigi, the academy, the different things, and you start veering off, and then you're going to get some different people and meeting some different people around the world. So I personally think it should be its own separate brand because that's that, and then this is this. It's just like, you know, some people, Stephen A has First Take, and then he has his podcast. Like,
right. And Stephen A on his podcast is a different person. He's like,
he's a different person.
He's like,
you know what I'm saying? And then there's first.
Yeah, he's like,
you know what I like about this? What I like about this, like Shadow, like to the point, like I could tell it's a lot more like passionate. I feel like with spaces, sometimes you have to be.
It's corporate. It's formal.
Yeah, exactly. Like you kind of have to be a little more like public. It's a different level of like public. I think this kind of reminds me of like I don't know if you guys ever use Discord. But
that's what it's like.
Bro, Playback is like chilling at the
barbershop. But it's like intimate. Intimate is a weird word, but you get more personal.
It's intimate.
You get way more personal here than you ever would in spaces. You're not going to be talking about like super personal stuff. Like even people's mind frame on spaces is like, oh my God, why are you talking about that? And then this, here you have a moving chat, and then you could even see in the chat.
Shadow, you know what I'm saying? Like on spaces, sometimes like people are just in there to say some wild shit or to
and
but
it's not even.
But Rome, here's the thing though. Also, the diehards show up. Like for playback, like and you guys have one of the strongest communities on Twitter, so like you'll get a good conversion rate where like you'll see a couple hundred people easily just popping in,
Yeah.
because the stronger your support is, the fan base that you've built and the community that you've built, you have already such a strong one. So yeah, dude, like the diehards will show up and they'll have like comments, they'll troll, like the chat,
Yeah.
like it's crazy.
This is like,
And you have to tap in with the diehards that you wouldn't
yeah, I feel
necessarily
that.
speak to them on Spaces,
On the
but
timeline or
here
on Spaces, yeah.
you would speak to them because it's way more personal, and they're in the
Yeah, yeah,
chat,
yeah.
and then you're talking to them. You get to know their personality, and they literally check in on you, like, yo, what's going on? What'd you do today? What's
Yeah.
popping? Like, you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I just like this personally because Spaces, like, I kind of lost the passion and the spark for it because anything I say or I do, it's always critiqued at a different level and this and
Cause,
I
that,
feel
and
dude,
that.
then
cause
And they
Shadow,
clip
it's
everybody's
easy.
and they
Shadow, it's
clip
everybody's
easy.
shit
always
out of
going at
context.
you and doing all this, but guess
But
what?
Shadow, you
Yeah.
know what though? Like, you guys have such a big like space just on NBA Twitter, like to where like the way you guys utilize Spaces, like because y'all been doing this shit for years. Like, I mean, but y'all been doing this for years in the sense of like being literally one of the biggest platforms like in a space format. So like at least like when the regular season is comes back around and shit, like bro, y'all gotta keep doing Spaces, bro. Y'all can't.
100%. Yeah,
I
for
need
sure.
y'all to keep doing Spaces,
No,
bro,
no, no.
because it's
We do
important.
it, but I ain't gonna lie. Like it's just on a burnout. Like right now.
I feel that. I
What
feel you. I feel you.
but
I feel you.
also what I'll do is I'll obviously manipulate because obviously I have a lot of access to information. So I'll
Right.
go into Spaces and I'll make a tweet, and then everybody will be in my DMs. And then Urkel will
Yeah.
say, "Oh, Shadow's coming into Spaces," and I'll be about to say some shit, and I say, "You know what? Everybody go to Playback,"
Just go to
and then I'll go to
Playback.
Playback, and I'd rather say it in Playback, bro.
Nah, see,
Bro, during
this is
free agency, bro, we were breaking records on this app. We broke every
Facts.
single
on
record.
Playback. On
Shit
Every
Playback.
was
record,
crazy.
hands down, on this app. We broke those
What?
2 weeks, bro.
Nah. I think I have. I think I got Irk's. I'm in his little community too. Like, this is different, right? This is Dre's. This one's Dre's.
Yeah,
We
And
yeah,
Urkel
yeah.
has
we
Yeah.
just
him.
have like we
Yeah.
basically, so
I
what
got
we'll do is
Urkel's too. I got Urkel's.
yeah, me and
He
Irk
does Laker therapy.
we basically feed off each other. So like if like let's say Irk starts his and then it's like, oh, like I had a late start to the day, I'll be like, okay, let's move to mine, blah blah. Like it's very free, and it gets people like it keeps people engaged, right? Because people are just going back and forth. They're like, we'll do like the discussion at Urkel's, and then we'll do like the analysis and breakdown, like the
But
film.
you know what's crazy? You know what's crazy, Dre? Like in the 80s sitcoms and comedies and television shows, that's what they used to do. It used to be like um one show and then the sequel to the show, and that's how we do it. Like um Urkel will come and he'll speak for 2 hours, but then Dre will have like a specific topic or something,
Right,
and we'll
exactly.
speak right up
Yeah.
until the top, and it'll be like a continuation. It's like watching programming. We're
Dragon
almost
Yeah.
Ball
building
next time.
content and a
Next
channel.
episode of Dragon
Yeah.
Ball Z.
And we're almost building. So then after Dre, there might be like when we build it up, the community, and it gets bigger, might be a later show. I might have a show where it's SGTV and we're talking about other things, and it'll just go and just continue, and it just builds content. So
Shadow, you
at
should do
this point,
a playback, but yours has to just be like news breaking. But like I don't know how to. Is it like a? Can you make this like an invite only? You should do like an invite only type of like playback where you just go live and you just drop shit. Like you just drop news and shit and then just end it and siphon it onto like Dre or like Urkel
yeah,
playback.
yeah,
I feel like that'd be kind of dope. That'd be a cool little
that's
idea.
what I've been doing. That's what I've been doing after the whole hoopla with them. I said, okay, these guys are canceled. I'm about to show you canceled. I waited and I compiled all the breaking stories, who's going where. At the end of the day, bro, my shit's transparent, bro. Like Rich is my dog. So at the end of the day, he has like fucking 60% of all these superstars or stars in the league. You understand what I'm saying? So I have
Yeah.
access and know what's going to happen and what's going to move. So because I do that, everybody was like, "Oh, these guys are canceled," and they're doing all these spaces, and everybody thought everyone's Dre and Urkel were getting packed up. Bro, we had space 1,700, 2,000, almost 3,000. Like at the end of the day, it is what it is. So it's new, it's a good format, but Rome specifically, if you could think of your direction, and I'm not saying you have to have it scripted, but I think you just have to go down a certain tunnel and just take people and let them know your personality. Because here, when it's a playback and they're watching, you get to see fucking this guy Dre's personality and his persona, like he's Dickie Vitale or something. Oh my God, Stephen Curry, ball bang! Like he gets to comes out with his real he's not gonna do those things on. You're gonna get the intellectual
Dude,
Dre,
if anybody
the
asks me
basketball acumen Dre on Spaces.
Yeah, you're not getting so me on playback, like when like I'm watching games, I'm the same person I was in high school, bro, which was like 3 years ago. Like I'm the same fucking dude, bro. I'm loud and I'm crazy. So like watching games, I'm taking my shirt off, I'm screaming, I'm saying this is some fucking bullshit. Blah, blah. Like I no fucking analysis here. No way. Like this
I'm
is about
crazy
winning,
during
bro.
games. I'm crazy during games too, bro. I already, man.
Dre,
Yeah.
never forget. Dre had the basketball. That nigga was so hype. He brought the basketball.
Oh yeah, I brought my basketball out. I like recreated a move that
I think
Steph
I seen
pulled up.
that. I think I seen
Yeah,
the video. Well, I
you
think it was
did.
a clip. I think it was a clip on Twitter. I seen that on Twitter. No, you know what this remind me of, Dre? The 2 a.m. shit that we used to do. Like when we would literally be talking just about any and everything, like hoop wise, and it would be like me, you, and like Julian Space with like fucking 20 listeners, and it's just us shooting the shit for like 3 hours about just ball.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? This is like I'm seeing, like honestly, I see what y'all doing, and that's why this shit's dope. Like just the community y'all built, like the chat, like the fact that I like the fact that it's a chat. You know what I'm saying? Like so people, even if you're not up here speaking, you can really like get your shit
Well,
off.
you also
and, like,
filter out like some of the haters too, because it takes effort to like make an account, do this.
I feel that.
Because
That's a fact.
like on Spaces.
Nah, Dre, the haters are always in
Nah,
here,
it's
though.
funny. Like, and then you see how much the haters actually hate. Because then there are some haters that will actually take the effort to like make an account, do all this stuff. But like on Spaces, it's so easy to just be anonymous. I've listened to your guys' stuff. So you'll just get like the most random fucking people sometimes.
It's insane, bro.
Just
it's insane, bro.
Yeah, dude.
And also,
I really do fuck with this though.
And also, when you do a good job and you're really good at it, I always say, if you have passion and shit you'll do for free, you have the autonomy to monetize off of it. And here's the best place to monetize one. But you're doing it because you're just passionate and everybody appreciates you. So it's almost more like, I'm not saying these guys are fans, but they're more like friends, partners. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yo, this is my partner. I don't know him in real life, but at the end of the day, like, they actually genuinely check in.
Yeah.
They care. Like, it's cool to talk about hoops and all whatnot, but when you get into different nuances of life and you're just kicking it and kicking up your feet and talking, like sometimes we'll go into shit. The other day we had a playback in here. It was 2 hours about relationships and for about morals and objectives and cultural relevance in marriage and relationships and being with a woman and a woman with social media versus a woman who doesn't have social media, and how a man and woman is supposed to play their role with each other and build each other up. And then you had people who were going through relationships and were like, this shit was damn near like Dr. Ruth, bro.
Yeah,
you know
I
what I'm saying?
mean,
And I think that has way more of an impact. Obviously, Spaces is good because at the end of the day, there's plenty of people that hit me in the DM and said, bro, the amount of situations you got me through, and I was going through shit and I was depressed, and you gave me hope and a voice and all that. But here, it's like way more personal, and people will generally ask me questions and do shit, and I'll give them, my best advice possible, like whether it be financial, whether it be relationship wise, whether it be business, from a business perspective, anything, you know what I'm saying? So
oh no, I was gonna say just to that point, like with Dre specifically, like bro, sometimes I just hit Dre up just to check on him on some, just hey, how are you, bro? You know what I'm saying? Just Not on
Yeah.
some hoop shit, but just because like
There's not
I
enough of that,
I
and that's what
genuinely
I'm
care
saying,
about him. You know, on some
brother.
real shit.
That there's not enough of that, man. There's a lot of people that jump in my DMs, bro, and a lot like COVID ran a ringer on people, and a lot of people still haven't recovered. You know what I'm saying? A lot
Oh,
of people in
absolutely.
relationships, they lost relationships. A lot of people had jobs, they lost jobs. A lot of people lost loved ones. You know what I mean? A couple people in here lost their parents. A couple people lost their siblings. You know what I'm saying? A couple people had to drop out of school. And certain shit, and they're on Twitter to like let shit go. And on top of it, we took advantage when that fucking rate limit bullshit was kicking. I was sick to
Oh
my
my
stomach, bro.
god,
I
bro,
just
that
said, "Yo,
shit.
pack up." I'm packing up
Mm.
Twitter, and I just came to
I was
Playback,
ready.
man.
I was just ready to just be like, you know what, it is what it is. Like, I just won't tweet no more. Like, I
Yeah,
YouTube.
bro.
I was ready to go to like YouTube, bro. I'm not even playing like podcast type.
Oh yeah, people bought those
I
blue
was
check
switching
marks, but
up.
it's gone now.
I was switching up, bro. I was switching up.
Yeah,
I was
that shit
ready.
was annoying though, man. Like, that shit was super annoying.
But Shadow, when that shit was going down, like y'all had this, like y'all had the playback where y'all could just like, you know what, fuck it, like we on playback, but like that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to build that. Like I think that's the next step. Like it's just something like
Yeah.
this for
And
sure.
bro, you got to start now because when the NBA season comes
Yeah,
on,
bro.
and on top of it, it's like we used to do it kind of in spaces, but
Yeah,
because everybody's watching on a different network, some people are ahead. Some people, oh, mute. Oh yeah, and people jump in. Oh, but now everybody's watching it on the same time, same chat, same everything, and you're commenting on it, and it's literally feels like a watch party.
yeah.
No, it's a watch party. Yeah, it definitely is. That's what I call it.
That was the most fun I had cause like when I would do games with Shub and Raj on All Access, bro. That was so just. Cause I'm like you, Dre. Like just the energy, bro. I'm watching the game. I'm not talking about no type of pin
The
down. I'm
good
not
thing
talking
about
about
my room too
nothing,
is
bro. I'm screaming, yelling about whatever just
exactly, bro.
happened
It's
before.
your
You know?
room, so like you don't have to be like. If someone tells me to like keep it down or some shit or like all that or like tone it down, I'm like, bro, fuck off. This is my shit, and there's a reason hundreds of people are in here with me. Like,
Yeah.
this is about
Talk
fucking
your shit, Dre.
winning games, man. So like. I don't. This is not about analysis. This is not about being rational or objective. We're trying to. The only objective goal I have is to win games. So if like, it's just pure passion, and people in the chat are the same way. They're like, "Let's fucking go," or like, we're finished, or like it's the same fucking vibe. Like the chat, when in Breaking Bad when like the pure meth, like that shit. Like this is what this fucking is. Like this shit. Twitter's crack. This shit's fentanyl, bro. This shit's just pure, bro. It's just all. It's
Yeah.
just the purest fucking thing. It's so pure. So, yeah, dude, it doesn't really get much better than Playback.
Bro, you really mentioned fentanyl, huh?
Bro.
We've got a fentanyl crisis here.
Nah, but I see
Hey,
it though. It's a
Dre,
good.
I think you missed out. Dr. MBA is he's working he's working with the federal government. This is man's a district attorney. You better know what you're saying on here.
Checking
Feds
for
is
a wire.
watching. Feds is
Checking for a
watching.
wire.
Nah, Dre knows.
There were so many good moments though in the doc though. I gotta what was in the chat? You guys type out your favorite moment, and because it's kind of a blur to me. Like there was like 3 moments that stuck out for sure.
Mine was the vulnerability moments. You know how like when they how they like showed those moments when he had those like 12 turnovers in that first game, and then like him reflecting on it. I felt like that was really powerful just because it was like he was like reflecting on it, and then him speaking on the gravity of that game too, right? When he was surprised and put on as a starter, and then ended up getting 32 points. That part, and then I think the last 10 minutes I think was really, really well produced.
I agree. So a lot of people saying the final minutes, the final montage, the final
Game 6, everything about that, and I don't know if anyone else like really like felt the weight of it, but Steph's teammate when they were showing how he was like crying and shit after he missed that shot, I was
dude.
like,
So I'll
damn.
be honest, I did not expect to like feel emotional and empathy for like someone that wasn't Steph, but dude, I was I put myself in what was his name, Jason, right?
Yeah.
I put myself in Jason's shoes, man, because you had like a lot of weight on your shoulders, man. That one shot, and like it all ends with that one shot, bro. That's that's got to kill him. Like you could to this day it killed him, bro. He was tearing up, fucking in the what? How old is he now? Like 35, 40? Like he's got to
Yeah,
be like
yeah,
40
yeah.
now. I mean, the dude's like, that shit was tough, man. Just to see how that ended out, but and then also, I teared up when that press conference when McKillop and Steph were there, and he's like,
Oh yeah.
you could hear Steph kind of shaking as he's like, I'm gonna make the decision to go to the NBA, and then Bob just teared up. Bob even teared up.
You
At
could tell you could tell they were like a genuine family there. Like even
Yeah.
though they didn't win a championship or anything, but like just the memories, like that shit was fucking priceless.
Dude, you gotta if you have you gotta some people don't understand like what it's like to be a part of a team like that, and like that's at a different level, bro. That's NCAA March fucking Madness Elite Eight shit. Like the intensity and the emotions that must be involved in that must go crazy. But even if like you're part of like a little team and you're like on your high school, basketball team or football team or whatever soccer team, like. The shit is like, bro, you're going through wins and losses together. You're going through, bus rides and all this shit, the ups and the downs. You play well, your teammate plays well, you're picking your teammate up, guys get hurt. Like, there's so much shit that goes into sports, bro. And, like, think about, like, the emotion, the high that they were on in 24 hours to the
It's like
low.
a fraternity.
Dre, they became celebrities together. You got fucking. I gotta say it. You got fucking LeBron James coming to your basketball game as a college player, bro. They were fucking celebrities, bro. That shit was crazy.
It was incredible, man. I thought, and hey, it's like the crazy part is, and like I remember watching the Jordan doc. I was like, because this was like the middle of COVID, so like I was looking forward to it. So I'm like, okay, here we go. And you're watching it, but like in your head, you're like, fuck, that's it. It's finite. Like that's what happened. It's just never gonna there's nothing that can change this course. Like it is what it is. Like you kind of just have this idea in your head that like it's planted history. It's planted and it's done. But like with this stuff in the back of my head, I was thinking like, shit, this story is still being written. Like I was like in the back of my head, I was like, and then towards the end, I was like, fuck, man, there's so much. Like there's more to this shit. It's kind of exciting to like realize how much more there is to the story. And I'm looking forward to these next, 3, 5, 7 years, however long it is. But, fuck, man, like it's just, and honestly, I know a lot of people thought it was like an unpopular thing to like make a documentary in the middle of his career, like while there's like all that stuff. I actually think looking back on it now, having watched it, because of the content of it, and Shadow made a good point. This wasn't about like, it was about Davidson and how Steph had to like overcome things as an underrated person his entire life. It wasn't necessarily about like one thing or the other.
It was about like an underdog mentality because they kept contrasting that moment to like post 2019 when like all the injuries and stuff happened. And
it was about the concept of being underrated and of working your butt off and of going through adversity and of being doubted, and like that's what it was about. So this isn't about like one day they'll have like a more complete picture of like the details that go into like all these
The
other
actual
things.
Warriors dynasty doc, basically.
Bro, you guys got to remember too. He's starting to become like a media genius, like Braun. Like, yes, this documentary is about him, but it was also bigging up his brand, underrated golf, and the underrated where he does with
unanimous
media and
what
what
else?
he does with the unrecruited kids, and he sheds light on it, bro. Like, yeah.
Somebody was about to say something. Was that Dr. NBA? Somebody?
No, I was.
Oh,
I'll let him go.
Yeah, man, that fucking doc, bro. God damn.
You know what also too that reminded me of in regards to his brand. You remember in the Jordan doc where they showed him playing against Patrick Ewing, and then they showed Patrick Ewing and Georgetown stuff, but it has the Jordan logo on it.
Yeah.
It was kind of the same thing with Davidson because Davidson was all Nike, and then by the end they kept like
did you see that's a really good L-Dot. That's a phenomenal point. Did you see the shot of Dell on the stands that said "Witness" with the Nike logo? You saw? Remember that? I remember. I was like, "Oh shit!" It's a good point for sure.
Yeah, and then they were going back and forth, and then remember he was going with. Remember him and Draymond had that bet because they were playing against each other.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
And then when you're going back and forth, you're looking at them, and he's going at practice, and the coach is wearing Curry twos, and
Yep.
the kids are wearing
Yep.
Currys, and you're like, holy fuck, this guy's really took his.
Why was he in a
Shadow,
cast?
the whole gym was covered in Under Armour.
Did you ask
Yeah.
why he was in
Yeah.
the cast?
Yeah, what happened? I
So
forgot.
that was the foot. He sprained his foot. So here's the thing.
Was that
And
Boston?
let me make this point too. And I think I kind of floated this earlier.
That was the Marcus Smart injury.
That was the exact. So he
okay.
sprained his foot, and then
I was watching that. I was
he
so
was
mad
recovering.
at this game.
They were shooting this the footage from here during like the grind of like the season in 2022 when Steph was rehabbing against with the foot sprain, and then he was like in the playoffs and in the moment. But I was thinking like in game 3, because they had got chronicled up until game 3 of the finals, and they like. It's funny, like they were talking about, okay, Jalen hit Marcus Smart hits the shot, okay, and then it's like they just skipped to game 4. I was like, oh shit, they didn't show the part where Steph's foot was really sprained, and I was like, that's important though, because there's some. I'm not like the deal. Like there are players that would make stuff that's like, oh, like look at this little thing I have to play through. Steph didn't mention anything that wasn't
Nope.
absolutely like other than the ankle injuries.
But Dre, that's probably gonna be saved for the actual Warrior doc.
And you know what? But I like that because he has control over that. He can control if that's in there or not. And here's my thing: so it was his call. And I will say this though: when they make the Warriors one, I hope to God Steph doesn't say like. I hope he doesn't be like, and I don't expect him to. He won't. Steph, I can guarantee, will not say like, "Oh yeah, I was playing hurt." But for a fact, some medical dude like Celebrini or like some reporter's gonna be like, so I want them to like go from shot to shot. So it'd be like Steph's like, so the producer would probably ask Steph like in 2016, like were you blah blah, and Steph will be like, nah, I was fine, I was out there, it's cool. And then boom, next shot it's like Celebrini's like, dude, this dude's body was fucked up from head to toe.
That's
like
perfect. That's perfect.
Yeah, like I want because I know that's happening. I know that's just
you know what I appreciate about this doc too, Dre, was the candor. Like the 13 turnovers and the 34 points the next game. Like you didn't see any of that in the Last Dance. Like Jordan.
You know what? Perfect point, L. He accentuated the flaws more.
Yes.
Like he
they
wanted
showed all the mistakes
every
too.
single bad thing. You know what that was like? It was literally synonymous with the scene in 8 Mile with when B Rabbit was rapping all the bad things about himself, and then he left them with nothing else to say.
Yep.
Right.
So Eldot, it's funny you bring that up. I was just gonna ask this question in Shadow. I want to know what you think about this. Chat, everybody. Understanding it's apples and oranges. We all have a lot of us here have our biases about how we feel about Steph, and it's a better comparison when the Warriors doc is out. But from a production quality alone, what did you guys think of this doc compared to the Last Dance?
A++.
Amazing, bro. I just finished it right just now.
They literally could not have. I mean, I think there's like a couple scenes where I was like, okay, you could, but this was as good as it gets, man, because they were getting footage from like 2008, fucking 2006.
What I liked about it, like Shadow and Dre spoke about this, because I made a tweet earlier saying I thought the doc was a bit premature, but it's about the underrated story. You could tell that right now. But
exactly.
how they ended it was him going to work in the gym.
Yes, that's a great point.
Exactly, for basically to be
getting
consistent.
back in the gym in September. I saw that.
So you saw the little the keynote at the bottom said 2 months after winning the championship.
Yeah.
Back in the gym.
Yeah,
Right
September 2022.
Yeah.
September 2nd.
To me, this is like, it's like, if anyone remembers the Facebook series that he did,
I remember.
I
remember.
That. It's almost like they redid that one, but this is just like way better, bro.
So Seidel, I made that. So literally 30, 40 minutes ago, I said that exact thing. I was like, it felt like a lot of the same like concepts, like the ankle struggles, like the come up was like the Davidson stuff. But then, like, it was just more intimate and detailed and intense. Like, it was just, like, those little nuggets and stories that you got in here, you didn't get in the Facebook one. The Facebook one was more, like, overarching, broad. But this one was, like you hear some shit, like this assistant coach gave some crazy fucking, Like that story, like Shadow said earlier about he's calling Steph, calling his dad, calling his friends, and he can't get a hold of him. He's like, "Sorry, coach, my mom took my." He's like, he said, my friend texted me a curse word. My friend texted me a curse word. Like, crazy.
Growing up in a Christian household, I know that feeling all too well. I know that shit all too well.
So funny story about when I saw those scenes, how strict she was in the house and the phone thing. Just a funny story to share. That just made me think of this. So I met Sonya at a breakfast joint in Burlingame last season. It was just like on a Sunday. My girl and I were out to breakfast. We're sitting outside. We had our puppy with us, and she was just standing on the sidewalk. And I was telling my girlfriend, I was like, "Yeah, I think that's Sonya." And she was like, "Really?" And I was like, "Yeah," because she was all like, she just had like a little denim jacket on and like some like casual. It was hard to tell, and I'd never seen her in person, so I was like, "I'm pretty sure it is." So, and I was wearing like a little Warriors hoodie, and some people were kind of looking at her, and she came up to our dog, and she was petting him and stuff, and then I didn't really. We had like a 5-minute conversation, but like she knew that I knew who she was, but like we didn't. I wasn't like, "Oh, can you tell me about this and that?" Like I just had a conversation about just life and like what y'all doing and like how is the It was so weird. It was like, how is the family, like that type of shit. But it's like I know exactly who you are and who the family is. But
Yeah.
the reason why it was funny is because she was waiting for her daughter and Steph's sister, and like she was coming up, she was pulling up. She came separately. She had the little baby in the stroller and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And she pulls up to the sidewalk, right? Now, funny enough, I was like, man, I'm about to see Damian Lee. I was like, fuck this. so anyway, so she comes up to the sidewalk. First thing she says to her, "Hey, I told you to park over there, and why are you this many minutes late?" And she was just blah 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 blah, and like just like all of it, just about some dumb
Oh
shit all
wow.
over her face. And it did that moment in the doc when we think that I was like, damn, Sonya was just like that's just how she is, man. That's the type of mom she was. It was funny. I was thinking of that.
But that's a great story, by the way. But you really get a look into why Steph is so disciplined and why he has the mentality.
Yeah.
He kind of gets it from his mother. Like I'm telling you, that scene when they interclipped him, like with all the championships, and then at the end of him still working, that was genius because it spoke to exactly who he was and who he
So,
is.
Yeah.
so you know what it is when you're underrated, right? And this is what McKillop instilled in him, I think, and it was kind of a mutual growth. Like Steph didn't come in saying like, "Oh, I'm gonna take what's mine. Oh, I belong." But like McKillop, you heard the phrases he would use: "We belong. We belong. We belong. We showed we belong." And then it's like, "You got to take what's ours. We got to take." All,
Do
so
do
Steph
you
and
do,
Ted,
do you guys see the parallels between him and Kerr, like personality wise?
They're brothers. Yeah, they're brothers, man. They're brothers.
think about this, right? If Steph will never ever be rid of that underrated mindset. So he'll always be working, even if he 3-peats, 5-peats, 6-peats. In his head, it can always be taken away, and you have to take
Yeah, 100%.
take
And you know
it.
what? Another thing I'll never let people do, just call Steph skillful. It's fucking hard
No,
work,
he's
bro.
tough. He's tough as fuck.
I don't think
Yo,
nobody in
did
the
you hear what
league
McKillop
He's a
said?
works
That's
as
leader.
hard as that guy, bro.
That's
yo.
a
Did you hear what
I'm
fact.
just
Dr.
convinced, bro.
McKillop
That
said
guy was
earlier?
working every ounce, every bit.
Bro. Shadow. Did you hear what? Remember what McKillop said? It was very early in the doc. You just reminded me of something. It was
You
like
want to
probably
surrender, don't you?
Oh yeah,
well, not even.
Oh, the
No,
flag, right?
no,
The
not
flag.
even that. Not even that. It was like 8 minutes, 10 minutes in, and he said, because that was a good story, by the way, the handkerchief one. But I'll tell you,
Yeah.
he said he was watching Steph. Okay, it was the assistant coach and McKillop. They said that they had Steph on their radar. Not that he was like, "Oh, you got to watch Steph. Oh, you got to watch Steph." It was like, "Oh, this guy's like on the radar for recruitment, and we'll check him out." He said he noticed that Steph made mistakes. He turned it over. He this and that.
but he
But
never quit.
he
He
had
never quit.
emotional. He said he had emotional toughness at the age of like 11. He said he used the words emotional toughness. And you know what's crazy? I watch Steph sometimes, and I'm like, we're down fucking 16, and he brings the ball up like we're up by 12. Like it's like every play to Steph is like the next play mentality is crazy. And you know what Kobe said? The same shit. He said the calmness. He said the calmness. Bro, Steph has had that crazy like calmness about him, that emotional skill set of like never kind of wave, if he could have 2 straight turns, bro. Think about game 4. Think about game 4 versus Boston. He fucking turns it over, a complete swing play. We're down 2-1. We go down by 7. And yet he fucking just murders them the next 5 minutes of the game because he has that. Bro, do you know how many players would crack under the pressure after making 1 or 2 mistakes?
Drake.
Just like
Bro, James
Georgetown. Did you
Harden,
see
with
his
all due
face?
respect, would fold like a cheap suit.
Drake.
Just like Georgetown, they were down 17.
Yes, George.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Steph just had this blank look on his face, like we're gonna win this, aren't we? Like
Yeah.
we're gonna win this.
So
That killer mentality.
But
when you can recognize emotional toughness in like an 11 or 12, or no, he was like 15, 16, he was like 16 years old or whatever he was, 16, 17. He was a teenager, and when you can, he was able to recognize that, and that's like, and to this day, you hear Kobe say things about that, Kerr, like the calmness, like bro, that was a huge thing, like to be able to recognize that.
the
And
thing
so
is, Drake. The thing is,
yeah.
Drake. That's almost the cousin of the championship mentality you get after you win. It's like after you win, you don't ever feel in your mind you're going to lose. He already had that before he started winning. Now with the 4 rings, it's an unlevel of belief that he has within himself. You can see within these games, like in the game where they're going to lose, he has a mentality. He's going to keep shooting until it's over. Because he knows, like, he can hit like 6 threes in a row, and the game can change on a whim, just like that.
L-Dot, when LeBron James attends your college game, Sweet 16, you know you're going to be special.
Hey, did y'all peep that moment with Coach K? You knew he was crying and throwing up when Steph was out there killing me, talking about, oh yeah, when we saw him, he was 5'6". I'm like, bro, y'all wanted him that dude. Come on, man. Y'all, I know y'all was crying and throwing up seeing Steph play like
Oh,
that.
100%. 100%.
Come on, man.
Yeah, it's so like hindsight is 2020, man. But man, they just couldn't see it in him, bro. Steph, like I'll always remember, but seeing Steph now in comparison, like Steph looks like fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger right now, comparison to like when he walked through that Davidson door. He was drowning in that basketball uniform, bro.
Yeah.
When he went from 20 to 30, he was drowning. Did you see the red sheet T-shirt when he was taking it off?
Yeah.
It looked like a fucking nightie. Like,
and another thing too, at that time, Shadow, you know this, you were there. Dude, NBA players and scouts, they were looking for the LeBron kind of physique as the next potential dude coming. They weren't looking at a dude like Steph. Steph made it after he became great, where you have to look at players like, Dame Lillard and such, where they're highly recruited now. But before him, that wasn't the case.
I think that's also kind of like what Reggie Miller was alluding to during the credits, like when he was reading. I guess that was Steph's scouting report or whatever.
That was his
scouting report, and
scouting
also
report.
he was talking about Doug Gopley and all that. But you know what's really really crazy? Like, obviously, like maybe you guys aren't like the hugest NCAA fans, but I was a like, to be honest with you, during that time I was probably a tiny bit more of a college basketball fan than I was a NBA fan, because I love the whole process of the draft and kids. Bro, those guys that he was playing were stars, and 99% of those boys didn't touch the league, bro.
Bro, that man got to play against Kevin Love and freaking Russell Westbrook before they became what they became, dude.
I think I saw Darrell Arthur out there, fucking
Mario Chalmers.
Fucking, it was
Roy Hibbert,
and then remember the following year when he left and he got drafted. Remember Mario Chalmers went to Miami and anything, and then remember that when Bron is damn near like he's young in his young early 20s, and he's like, "You gave my point guard the hezzy." That's what he's talking about. When they played him, he went to the game, and then 7 months later, they're going through like he's going to a Nike camp and doing all those things, and they're going to Team USA stuff, and then he's talking with Steph, and he's like, "Bro, remember when I came to Dave?" He's like, "Yo, thank you," and he goes, "You gave my point guard the hezzy."
That's a really. So I remember that. when it was in against. You're talking about after the game against Miami, where
Yeah.
LeBron hit
Yes,
the game.
yes.
That was in 2014. So LeBron
Yeah,
didn't play
yeah,
for.
but they were reminiscing about that same game,
Yeah, 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 yeah. I know.
that
So he
Sweet
was against
16 game.
Chalmers. Oh, you mean okay? I see. You're talking about the after the game against Miami, like him and Braun and Bosch chopped it up after.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
yes, yes.
yeah,
So this
dude.
is what I'm saying, man. Like, bro, that man fucking beat all odds just to get there, bro. Davidson is a fucking tiny. It's a damn near a community college, bro. There's 2,000 people
Yeah, and
attend that school.
Shadow, those like you were saying, those 99% of those star guys that he was playing against that were most of them didn't make it. Those were dudes he wasn't supposed to be playing against. Remember, like Michael Beasley at K-State type
Oh
shit.
my God,
Yeah,
what a
You
bro.
remember,
Like
name!
like
he,
bro, like those were dudes that were supposed to like have surpassed him decades ago. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So like
100%.
that's the
And
type
then
of guy I
Steph was
think of
like
like in that
so.
context. You know?
He was known, obviously, Dell, but remember the odds. It's like there's a stigma about kids like if your dad is a star and then the kid comes in, there's like, because of Michael Jordan, like his kids absolutely didn't go nowhere, and like a bunch of other people, like it's very difficult for people to take you seriously. And especially that Del Curry, at the time when he was in the league, Del Curry was a sniper. So there's no way in God's green earth that anybody thought that Steph would come in and be able to shoot, get off his shot against all these big guys like how Del Curry did, because Del Curry at the time was 6'5",
You know what's
going on
crazy
six
though?
six.
I'll say this: Steph's parents didn't really even believe in him as much as like in that type of way. 'Cause
No, 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 no.
you
They
remember
didn't.
30 for
That's
30?
what
Wait,
That's the
Sonya
whole
said. She
point
was.
of it.
That's
there
what
was a
Sonya
30.
said.
There was a 30 for 30 like a few like 6 or 7 years ago. It was like a long time ago. I remember they were like asking Dell about like what he thought about Steph at the time, and he was like, I thought maybe he could be a professional overseas. He's like, yeah, maybe overseas if he's lucky. Like like even his mom said like we don't even know what's happening. Like she's like a fan at that point of what's happening. But like Steph, I think there's like this. He has that dog in him, bro. Like I don't know how else to put it, man. Like that toughness. Magic Johnson was like had a podcast with Shannon Sharp like a while back, like a few months ago, I think, and he was saying like Steph is a tough dude. Like I don't think people realize how tough he is and how tough you have to be able to do what Steph does. To be able to do what Steph does, the level of toughness you have to have night to night, possession to possession, like game to game. It's hard, man. 82 fucking games. And you remember what that number, I forgot his name. Number 41, the dude that was on the Davidson squad. Do you remember his name? He was like the center power forward.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
That
Lovedale.
dude was
Yeah,
like,
love something.
he's like,
Lovedale.
when I first saw him, I thought I could crush him. Like, crush. I was like, oh shit. Like,
You
they
know what's
thought
so
this.
funny?
That's the Ricky Davis shit with
You know,
LeBron
Yeah.
in Cleveland.
you know what's so funny to me is like there was a quote that was literally almost word for word what you said the whole season, Dre. The Warriors are a sum of their parts.
Yo,
They would
yeah,
say
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
about Davidson,
Yeah.
like how the team was built in terms of like how Steph teams are built. There's a blueprint in
I
terms
think
of how.
every it's crazy. I noticed the same blueprint at Davidson. I was like, every Steph Curry team is greater than the sum of its players.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's
that's
so
that's
true,
that's 100%.
bro.
And you guys noticed we were so in the moment after 18-2 when we were feeling ourselves that the whole time we thought they were winning the chip. But did you see all those segments that they brought in?
Yes,
Oh, the
yes.
Yeah.
Warriors are really struggling. Like
They're in a
Right.
Yep.
Bro, that
nobody
shit
Remember
thought they
that?
could
fire.
win the
Hey,
chip
I
on us.
know,
At
I
the
know,
start,
man.
they were
Shadow,
people
remember
going
that
crazy
Ron
about not.
50,
Nobody thought them boys
Ron
could win the
50-point
chip, bro.
game?
Yeah.
Dude,
They
that
was
Ron
picking
50-point
Phoenix.
game gave some horrible flashbacks.
They was picking Phoenix to win.
And
Lost.
they
Yeah,
showed. By the
you
way, they
see what
showed
I'm
Phoenix
every.
is
saying?
the best team in the
Wait,
NBA
you
by
talking about last
far.
year, Shadow? You talking
No,
about
two
last
years
year?
ago. 2 years ago.
No,
Two
it was
years
last
ago
season, Dre.
when they
The
won the
year
chip
y'all
Sweat
won
it
it,
in
though.
out
22.
The
for
year y'all won.
fun.
No,
Bro,
no,
hey,
Dre.
I didn't think y'all was winning
Yeah.
the chip, bro. I didn't. I'm not gonna lie. My bad.
No, the clip from the Lakers game was that game when we
No,
were
that
in a
was
really
That was the
bad
game
stretch.
LeBron had
that
like
was when
56
LeBron
or
dropped
something.
50.
Yeah, 50.
LeBron
Yeah.
dropped 56 on us.
Yep.
That was in
Yep.
2022.
Wiggins wasn't guarding him that game.
It was
Bro,
it was our
Dre,
championship season.
That was our championship year. Braun was
do
going
you
crazy.
remember? Do you remember, bro? It was a space. I wasn't even in the space, but it was just back when we were spacing all the time and shit. Julian was hosting the space. Kendrick Perkins pulled up to the space.
I remember that.
And you straight up told him,
I
"Hey,
think I
bro."
heard about this.
You were like, no. So everyone's talking about like, oh, the Lakers gonna be good, blah blah blah. Like it was like Lakers, and then Drake comes out of nowhere, bro. It's hilarious. He goes, "Hey man, the Warriors gonna be really."
It'd be
good
like
this
if
year.
Baron Davis came into one of our spaces.
And everybody was like, bro, what are you talking about? They actually ended up winning the chip that year. That's kind of, bro. Dre, that's kind of crazy.
It's the legendary.
The Lakers.
I don't know if people know about
Perkins
that.
in a blender.
Nah, some people.
Like,
I think.
Go ahead. Kendrick Perkins, the Lakers are the Warriors are gonna win a chip. Like,
no, I told Perk.
Crazy, bro.
There's people in the chat that might. I've posted the clip before, but you're right. I told Perk, I was like, nah, dude. I think the Warriors have a good shot here. You got Steph, Clay, Draymond healthy. You got a young squad. You're gonna we retooled. We had a bunch of G Leaguers. I referenced that we went 15-5 against some of the top competition last year when we were able to formulate an
with G League Garys.
And so, yeah, I kind of made my argument. And you know what's crazy? Perkins, we went back and forth, and then the conversation kind of ended. And then Perkins like, you know, I think Utah, yes, they're a sleeper. And
Perk is such a clown, man.
Bro,
and I like how they
off right after that.
Dude, they included in the series, right? Like right in the middle of the final series, they had a Perk saying the Celtics are winning it all. Period.
Yeah.
Celtics are winning it all. Period.
Oh,
didn't we have a 3% chance or some shit like that?
Marcus Smart looked lost.
Yeah, no, the ESPN thing was like 13. 3 or 12%.
Oh yeah, 13.
Just Marcus Smart grabbing his nutsack never gets old.
Bro,
I just remember that finals. Like Marcus Smart looked like a deer in the
by the way,
wilderness dog.
a lot of the Steph doc, like, and I'm not trying to make it about me, but because this shit was very similar to like how I kind of have made mine so far. A lot of the shots, like going from, so you know that shot in the corner where he shot like against Marcus Smart.
Yeah, the night.
Shot the shot, and then it went to the Davidson shot where he kind of lowered it, and then it went back, and then he knocked it down. It's shit like that, those little like parallels, that it's very similar to my doc, which is kind of like it's very similar to how I think, the way like they think about editing shit. It's kind of crazy because
that was a crazy edit.
A lot of the shots were like those parallels are exactly how I think when I think about editing. Like, how do I parallel Steph Curry throughout his career when he's, you know, in this season versus like a younger season versus like a rookie. And so like that's kind of my similar editing style is like kind of that. So and I just loved how they were able to like show different shots, how he like the nuances of how he moved, how he like his little quirks of like the way he shoots the ball or like goes downhill. Remember that one shot where like he had a reverse layup and then they like switched the reverse to like a Davidson shot? Like it was
yeah.
Still, it was crazy.
It's stuff like that that's like it's kind of cool to see. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the stuff that I just think it makes the story more poetic and.
Oh, they just dropped a clip of you and Perk.
Oh yeah, this is the clip, bro. This is what I'm talking about, bro. Like, look at the people in that actual space.
It was all Laker fans.
Yeah, it was like Laker fans, like LeBron fans, and like Kendrick Perkins, bro. That space was not like it had nothing to do.
Dre, is that
Warriors.
you? The
like,
win? The win? No.
Yeah, I was win now.
Abby?
I was win now.
Okay. Win now.
That was when,
you know what?
That was during the Kaminga, right? Kaminga.
Yeah, I was.
Draft,
so
right?
he just drafted Kaminga.
Oh.
So I was like, win. So my name was Win Now, Develop Now. That was.
Do you remember?
Hey,
Dre,
and it worked out.
2 timelines.
Yeah, bruh.
Dre, do you remember when? I swear to God, like this is how far, bro. Me and Dre, we would DM like every single day, right? We would DM each other, and we would just talk about the pick, like, yo. Like, I want this guy. Like, and Dre would be like, yo, I want this guy. Like, it was Chris Duarte, Trey Murphy. I was talking about, like, how Moses Moody was about to be, like, next, bro. I remember you guys drafted
Rome,
Kuminga.
I thought he was the next best available on the board for the Warriors.
No, because you guys drafted Kuminga first, and I was like, Dre, what the fuck? I remember, like, when it happened, I was like, yo, Dre, what the fuck? Kuminga? Like, I was like confused.
Yeah,
and Dre was like, I don't know. Dre was like kind of iffy about it too. And then like when y'all got Moody, bro, I was so jealous. I remember telling Dre like, bro, you got him. He's gonna be amazing.
You got a gem.
I remember that, bro. Remember like Bones, Highland. We were talking about so many players.
Rome, I said when they drafted Moody, I said he's gonna be the steal of the draft.
Nah,
Yeah,
bro,
dude,
you
I
have a
thought
good
Moody was
memory,
gonna be
man.
crazy. Like,
Bro,
yeah, no, we would. Dre, I remember those times. Like, bro, we were talking about like who the fuck are we gonna draft? Like, who y'all drafted? Like, that was like
bro,
during that time, bro.
you were high on Trey Murphy. You were
I
high
was
on, and I
so high
remember
on
like
Trey Murphy.
I watched some film. And I was like,
I
yo,
was
this
high on
kid
Chris Duarte.
could shoot the ball, and then once he got drafted, like in summer league, he was killing it. So I was like, fuck.
Dude, yeah.
And I was
I
like,
wanted, bro. I literally was willing to trade up for the Lakers. I wanted them to trade up in the draft, like trade Kuzma up in the draft, so that we could go get Trey Murphy or Chris
yeah.
Wait,
Duarte.
who did the
That's how
Lakers
bad I
draft
wanted
in
them.
21? Was it Jackson, Isaiah?
We ended up trading that pick in the
That was for the
Westbrook
Russ
trade.
deal, right?
Yeah, in the Westbrook
Yeah.
trade.
Oh, okay.
We traded
I think
that
it was
pick.
Isaiah.
So
I wonder who the Wizards took. Who'd they take?
I think it was Isaiah Jackson, right?
I don't remember who they took, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know.
Now
It was like
think
the
about
it was like the 21st pick or something, right? 20. It was like a late first, I think, or like an early, like a mid first.
Was that the
Oh yeah,
Jaden
it was
McDaniels
Isaiah
year?
Jackson.
Did Jaden McDaniels go that year, or he went the year before? Huh?
Which player?
Jaden McDaniels on the Wolves.
Oh.
What year is he? I remember there was a year where we traded a draft pick and he was like, oh, that might have been when we traded for a shooter. Actually, I'm tripping.
Jaden or Jalen?
The one on the Wolves.
No, you're right. He was
no, Jaden was 2020.
No, Jaden was 2020.
Yeah, the Lakers selected him. I think 26 or 27 or something.
No. Jaden was 2020, 28th overall pick, and and that was the year. Wasn't that the year that that I think you traded for Schroeder, right? Like you said.
Yep. Traded at OKC. It was on
it was
OKC.
Danny Green.
Danny Green in the first.
Yeah. That was a steal, by the way. By the way, I know like Laker fans, like some dudes don't like Dennis, bro, but I know like, and he wouldn't fit the Warriors.
Jay came around on Dennis.
I think for what he is at $2 million, I think he's solid, even though he has some bad moments.
Well, he got his bag now, bro. He has his bag now.
Yeah, Rome, you guys were hating on him, but he was such a defensive pest.
Nah,
for you guys.
I wouldn't say every Laker fan.
No,
some Laker
they
fans
were hating on him more so, like
for his offense.
What I didn't like about Dennis, I'll tell you guys, the thing I despised about Dennis wasn't Dennis. It was the fact that like Darvin Ham would play him to the point of exhaustion. Like there would be like stretches during the season where the dude's playing like 10 straight minutes.
Favoritism.
Like, he's playing starter minutes. Like other dudes aren't playing when he should be playing. Like there was just a lot of things that like Darvin Ham, he kind of was like googly eyed for Dennis, and that was kind of like why I wasn't mad about getting rid of him. Especially
I think it was a little bit of a favoritism thing.
Because
Darvin coached him when he was in Atlanta too, Rome. So keep that in mind as well.
Well, I mean that's literally why Cam Reddish is currently on the team because Chris Gent, who's one of our assistant coaches.
Yeah, because I think Darvin was also there when Cam Reddish got drafted.
Yep, exactly. So yeah, no, Dennis was more so just the coach. Just y'all know how it is, bro. When like a coach just plays a guy and you're like, he's just playing too much, bro.
Steve,
it's kind of like D-League.
Steve Curry.
I'm about to say. I'm trying to think of a Warrior. I'm trying to think of a Warrior that plays.
I can name like
NBA,
bro, Anthony fucking Lamb. For
I
us
could name like
Sidell got triggered.
Chip Year Chioza played, and I was just like, what does this guy do?
Chioza didn't play too much. It was Damian
Nah, he
Lee.
did. He low-key
Relax.
They were playing Chioza like a good amount of time. I remember.
Oh my god, dude! I remember when my dad would just lose his mind every time he hit the court.
Yo, you remember the game against Phoenix when, dude, and the funny thing is he actually hit a big three in that game, but it was like early in the season. Phoenix was like the big game, right? It was like
y'all won that game, right?
No, we lost.
No, we lost it.
Crowder hit like 2 daggers at the end, and then Chioza was out there, but he actually hit a shot. You're right, but though on Christmas Day we beat them there, and Quindary Weatherspoon.
Okay.
But dude, we
Weatherspoon played really good defense on Devin Booker.
Steve has like this like infatuation with like these horrible. Brad Wanamaker would be playing like, I think there was a point in 2021 where Wanamaker played more fourth quarter minutes than Steph, and it was like
no, he likes the role player Rob
deep into the season, bro.
Brad Wanamaker, that's a deep cut.
Brad fucking Wanamaker, man.
It wasn't a point. It was the entire season
was
that
really?
he was there until he traded him.
Yeah,
he was playing like 50 more seconds than
he was playing, bro.
He was playing 50 more seconds than Steph.
Yeah. Because I remember, I mean, obviously Steph played a ton of fourth quarter minutes at the end, but you're right. We traded him to Charlotte, and I think at that point he had played more fourth quarter minutes. But Steve's crazy, man. But you know what? Corey Joseph is going to be the new Wanamaker, which at least,
bro, no.
Like,
don't put that in there.
Hey,
Dre.
Corey Joseph, and to be fair, Dre, Corey Joseph does not make a lot of mistakes. He's not like a.
He's
He's
stable.
not like a. Yeah, he's stable. Like, he's not like you guys could have used him this season.
Bro,
Like this past
Steve
season,
is such.
y'all
I
probably
just
could have
love
used
like.
Corey.
There's something about Steve that just like makes me laugh because like
Dre,
the dude has
Steve,
just like these like theories about like we just need a dude who's just solid out there, just doesn't like. And bro, I know for a fact. Like I remember there's a reporter a couple days ago that's like, yeah, Jordan. I mean, he wasn't like tight with all the players, but the real issue was between him and Steve. It was like the real tension was actually
Yeah,
between.
I
And it's
told my
like
dad about this.
you know that Steve had like, bro, Steve and KD had issues. Steve has like issues with like talented players. He likes the dudes that like are just solid and just
Dre,
like
He likes the
Dre,
high
the
IQ players.
Hard-nosed
the
workers.
reason why he
yeah.
loves those kind of players is because he sees himself in those role players. Like
Yeah, it's like vicarious. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
D Lee, right side down, D Lee.
Relax, Dr. Lee. Wallahi.
Don't even. But Damian Lee was actually solid for Phoenix this year. So come on, I gotta give him that.
He did have a good year. I'm not gonna
Like-
lie. Like he was. Really
You know what's
good.
funny? He actually had a really good year with us as well. The problem is that
He just couldn't hit
people were
shots.
so
His
He
spot
did
in the
everything
rotation
else.
just kept
Bro,
going in and out.
people were
I
so-
think partially because of Jordan Poole as well, because he was playing so well at the time.
here's the thing: people were so like. It's funny if you look at Bielitsa's like net rating and you look at Damian Lee's net rating stuff, they were better than like some of our best players this year. Like Bielitsa was like a +7 or something. That's better than fucking Dante. That's better than Jordan Poole. That's better than Jamai. Like, bro, and Bielitsa was like our 10th guy. Like Otto was playing better. GP2 was playing better. Jordan was playing like all these dudes were better players than Bielitsa, but Bielitsa was so effective for us. And then Damian Lee was like a +3 or +4, which would still have been better than Jordan Poole this year, which still would have been better than JaMychal Green. The only player that was better this year, Dante was a +3 this year. I think he was the only positive off the bench. Like we had very few. And the reason I was so happy getting Dante was because we lost GP2. So losing GP2, it's like, fuck, who the fuck do we replace him with?
Even though Dante is not the defender that GP2 is, he makes up some of that.
Dr.
Yeah,
why did you say that about Dre? Always finding an opportunity to talk. But what do you mean by that? Like, is Dre hates Poole? Is there a Poole hate?
An opt to talk Poole?
Oh no, it's just a joke.
And I want him to have a
Anyway,
good career. I just don't think it is on the Warriors. And sure enough, now he's gone.
Nah, because Rome, there's people that think like I hate Poole, but it's just I think listen. I'm not gonna.
Draymond needs to shut the fuck up.
We have a segment of the fan base who are known as Poole stands.
I troll Jordan, but there's no like actual hate. The thing is, I troll him, but here's the thing. He also is like, a lot of it was self-inflicted. Here's my thing. I always say this. There's two things I require in every player. And these two things, if one of them isn't met, I'm going to be pissed. Like, I'm not going to be happy as a fan. As a fan, these are two things I want. You play the right way, and you play with effort. Jordan did neither. Neither this year. He did not play the right way, and he did not play with effort.
No, I agree.
And this is why...
Just from watching his body language.
And here's the thing. Clay plays with effort, but he picks and chooses, because if he's missing shots, he doesn't play with effort. And Clay doesn't play the right way sometimes. Sometimes Clay's just jacking shots off.
And I agree with that.
Dre,
yeah.
Damian Lee, he didn't always hit shots, but the motherfucker could play some
I feel like the Warriors are one of those teams, though, like, you have to play the right way. Like, if you don't play within the Warriors style of play, you're going to suffer.
It's
even if you're a great player. I was literally about to say, Kelly Oubre is a great example. Because Kelly Oubre is not a bad player, right? But, like, the way he plays, it was not conducive to, like,
he
Warriors
never
basketball.
grasped the system, bro.
And that shit
he didn't even know
like,
how to run a split action. Like,
no, wrong. You're exactly right. And that's the thing is, like, I can forgive. So I want to be very clear, and I've said this to the chat. Like, I remember a week ago, I'm like breaking it down. I'm like, I'm going through every player. I'm like, it's interesting. The three players I had a problem with this season didn't check at least one of those two boxes. I was like, oh yeah, like that completely makes sense. It's very simple for me. If you don't play hard and you don't play the right way, I'm gonna fucking criticize. Like, of course, Draymond did not fucking play hard at times. And against Boston, even against Boston, I was giving him shit because remember in game 1, bro, he was daring Al Horford to shoot. Bro, like, get a fucking hand up and close out. He was like disrespecting Al Horford, and Al Horford made Draymond look expendable. I'm not gonna lie. And then by game 4, Draymond looked fucking horrible. Then the last 3 games he played well, or last 2 games. The first 4 games against Boston, I was killing Draymond, bro. I was like, this dude he looked done. I was like, I just.
I remember that, and then he was doing the podcast shit too. So like,
Oh my god, that pissed everyone off.
He had more fouls than points, bro. He had more fouls than points. Like he was so bad. He was just so bad. So I give equal opportunity.
Dude, Dre, he literally admitted that he got like he was haunted by the crowd.
He was shook, man. He was shook.
Yeah, he was shook.
But here's the thing: it's not.
Steph had to bail him out.
But at the end of the day, I troll Jordan. But at the end of the day, it's not a Jordan Poole thing. This is a Clay thing. Jordan Poole, Draymond, whoever. Like, you don't hear me criticizing Looney because Looney doesn't fucking.
It's the same reason why Dante DiVincenzo.
Me either,
out so
Andre,
well.
and I'm probably the most pro Looney person in the Warriors fan base.
What were you saying? What were you saying, Rome?
No, I was saying the things you're saying. It's the same reason why Dante DiVincenzo was so good for you guys, because he essentially like knew how to play within the Warrior style of basketball, and it kind of made it. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially in the regular season, like
he checked both boxes. Yeah,
can't forgive him.
So Dante was. He's not a 16-game player. I don't think he is. But I will say this: having Jordan next to Dante is not helping Dante either. Like, people act like it's a one-way thing. Like, oh, Jordan was playing with bad lineups. It's like,
Jordan had to have fucking Otto Porter out there.
Yeah, but here's the thing, Dante. It's not like Dante was playing with good. You got to offer the same grace to every player, because Steph was struggling because they had no spacing at times. It's not just a Jordan thing. I'm not trying to hear that excuse. And also, Jordan already proved to be a top 2 offensive player on the title team. And again, it's not about missing shots. It's about playing the right way and playing with effort. There were times this season Jordan was just not playing with the requisite effort that I was, as a fan, I could be like, okay, at least, like, here's my thing with Dante. Every night, I could count on him to make the right reads, to make the right passes, to play unselfish, and on top of that, play with effort, dive on the ground, make the right defensive rotations, like play hard. Looney plays the right way. Looney's not selfish. Looney plays hard. He plays with effort. And yes, Looney maybe has a bad game here or there because he gets into foul trouble or he misses some layups. If Looney misses layups, bro, I don't get pissed because he's a human being. Human beings miss shots. But what human beings can control, here's what I get pissed at. When, as a human being, you can control how much effort you put in and what your mindset and mentality is how you approach the game. If you approach the game selfishly, then you're a fucking loser, and I'm going to call you out on that. Klay Thompson was fucking selfish, bro, all year fucking long. So, like, he deserves a lot of fucking blame, too, and I gave him a lot of blame on top of that because I was calling KCP the entire playoffs. Once we got eliminated, and there's people in here that remember this, for like a month straight, I was like, bro, KCP is better than Klay. And I still think
I remember that. He was cooked for that.
And you know,
that's not even a bad take, bro. I'm not going to lie.
And you know what I think? It's funny because in a vacuum, you could argue like Klay's more talented and blah, blah, blah. But the fact is KCP plays.
He fit his role better.
He fits his role. And here's the thing.
KCP will always play the right way and that's why he's a championship level player. Like, it doesn't matter
he has
what team
2 rings, and he understands less is more. He takes his shots when he's open. He makes the right passes. Maybe he's not the greatest, like he's not 6'9", 6'8". He's not, he's not the greatest playmaker, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, he doesn't take ill-advised shots. He doesn't, he always puts effort on defense. He tries to crash the glass a little bit here and there. Like, he fits his role. He plays hard. And at the end of the day, he understands less is more. He's not selfish. And if Klay Thompson had a KCP mindset and mentality, he would literally be, I think, a top 6 or 7 shooting guard in the NBA. Like, I would take Jalen, I would take Booker, and like a couple other dudes, but then Klay's right there because he's still talented enough. He led the league in threes last year. Like, he averaged 20 whatever points. Like, he was still okay, but like his approach to the game is so just damaging because like it just doesn't. He's hurting the team at times. We remember Game 4 against you guys. Like, I'm sure. Bro, that one shot, like, were you fearful at all?
When LeBron ran off Klay?
No. Not even that. Bro, in Game 4, when you guys were, so we were up by 3 with like 4 minutes to go, whatever.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then Klay took those 2 shots.
Oh my God! My God! You're talking about the Lonnie Walker game? Yeah. Oh my God, bro!
Game 4 Walker.
Listen, bro.
Back to this Lonnie Walker game, man. I'm about to
Klay Thompson was a Laker in that series, bro. Especially in LA, like on the road, bro. he was our sixth man. Like he was our sixth man, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh man.
I just hope Clay comes back with a better approach this year, mentality. Because,
no excuses, Dre. Full off season, no excuses.
Because Rome,
we move.
Like, here's the thing: the reason Clay gets criticized, and there's people that like don't like it that when we criticize Clay. But here's the thing: he came into the season out of shape. Like I understand there's like reasons behind it, whatever. But like at the end of the day, you are hurting the team as a starting shooting guard. You are one of the most important players on the team, and you're coming in out of shape. It hurts the team. Like for 2 months straight, bro, we were so fucking bad because Clay was just slow. He just wasn't himself. And like by the time like it was February, March, that was when he started to gain a little bit of rhythm. Like January, February, like around the New Year. And like he was like, fuck, he waited this long. If he had just come into the season in shape, we would have been in a much better spot. Like it's self-inflicted, bro. We're not coming out of, and like people think we just come out of nowhere and just like slander players. Like, bro, no, it's very simple. Come into camp in shape, do your job, play the right way, play hard, and if we lose, we lose. But here's my thing: I cannot accept leaving things on the table. I cannot accept like when you have something in front of you and you don't do your very best to like what's the phrase, like cross your T's and dot your I's. You got to do that. If you don't do that, then you fucking left stuff on the table. So I will be critical of any player that leaves anything on the table. You have to leave no stone unturned. And if that happens and we lose, I as a fan can be proud of my team that we lost, but we did everything we could and we just weren't good enough. But last year we were fucking good enough. We just didn't put it together because of selfishness. We had the players, we had the pieces, but we didn't have the chemistry. The chemistry fucked us. So
Dre, all I know is that if we had moved on to the conference finals, we would not have gotten swept.
Oh,
I don't think we. Well,
damn.
Shit.
Rome respond to that.
I'm not gonna lie. I love seeing Steph with his kids though. Like that, just Cannon. Oh my god, dude.
TJ.
He is just a treasure, man.
TJ just
I'll say this about the sweep. Because like, it's tough when I'm watching a game and like, some of even the players said it, like the game plan wasn't too bad. Like it wasn't like a situation where I was like, yeah, after game 1 or game 2, I wasn't watching the series like, yo, we have 0% chance. Like we're in a lot of the games, but bro, I don't know if y'all really.
Were you proud of the Lakers last year? Were you proud of them?
Overall, absolutely, because from where we were to where we ended up, like that was unheard of. Honestly, it was unheard of. It was
a great
the trade
effort,
deadline, man.
But I'll say about the sweep, like bro, I don't know if y'all really watched that shit, bro. The Nuggets were shooting insane. Like the shooting variance in that series, bro.
I know.
That was some shit, bro.
But you guys also couldn't shoot your threes, though. That was the issue.
Well, yeah, I mean, D'Lo, I think, averaged like 6 points a game. I think Dennis was like 7. Lonnie wasn't there. Vando was kind of unplayable. Like it was tough. Like it was tough. Like,
and even after all that, you still had 2 or 3 games you could have won.
That's what I'm saying. Like a lot of those games were just self-inflicted L's. Like just bad shot selection in the fourth quarter. Like it was just, bro. I don't know. I've never seen a team. Oh, they were shooting like you guys. Like, bro, the shooting in that series. I don't know. Like, really go back and watch some of those games, bro. They were making it. Bro, KCP was
Jamal Murray,
burner,
bro. Like,
bro. No, I know Jamal Murray was like 50-49. He literally looked like Steph.
No, but that dude's legit, though. It's not just the bubble. I think,
bro,
like, this whole run was perfect.
Bro, KCP was hitting sidestep threes in the shot clock, like, contested, if MPJ was like actually like hitting shots.
Shout out Aaron Gordon too.
He was up and down in the East series, but against us,
was so bad. Yeah.
MPJ looked great. Game 4, Aaron Gordon almost had 30. Like there was a lot. Like I can't really like.
Rome, I'm not gonna lie, and I know. Like some people think I say things out of agenda or whatever, but like 90% of the time, it's like straight just my belief and observation. So last season, watching you guys, I'm not saying LeBron wasn't like good or whatever, but to me, it was pretty clear. Like at least in the playoffs, for sure. Like AD was your best player.
Oh, absolutely.
And
Yeah.
because here's the thing, it wasn't obviously you could argue LeBron was better offensively, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But dude, that defense, the shit that he was able to pull from against Memphis to the Warriors to even the Nuggets, like I know Jokic did his thing or whatever, but still, AD was a factor. And the problem was, bro, he just shot really bad against. I think it was games 2, and then game 4. He just shot so bad, or was it game 3 maybe?
Game 3, game 2 and 3, he was like, game 4, he had a bad 3 quarters, and in the fourth, he really turned up. But no, I mean, I was telling people during the playoffs, I was like, listen, I know everyone's high on Lakers and everything they're doing, but you got to take a step back as a basketball fan
100%.
and really pay attention to what Anthony Davis did. Dude, the deep he was on another. Watching basketball, I haven't seen a player that locked in on defense the way he was in a decade. That shit was bro, it was unreal. I've never it was unreal. So it was kind of hard for me to really hold him to too much two-way wise. Offensively, especially when I'm expecting Reeves.
And you know what? That's my same philosophy.
And Braun.
I do basketball the same way. By the way, you know when people make fun of Steph, they're like Steph shoots bad. He shoots 4 for 15, 4 for 8. It's but the gravity. It's yeah, he's creating for his teammates. That's value.
Right.
AD shoots bad. The man's fucking stopping 15 points on the 20.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, dude, they literally cannot score. Bro, go back and watch even against you guys, dude. There were so many games where you guys would shoot great from 3. Y'all were shooting solid from 3, but there was just nothing at the rim if AD was down there. If AD was that's what was a really good adjustment from Steve Curry. It was to kind of bring AD higher up onto the perimeter more.
Right.
And that really
it was too late.
It was too late. Yeah, it was way too late. But that was an adjustment where it was dude, I don't know if you remember, GP2 torched us in one of those.
I know. Game 4, bro.
Game 4, dude. He torched us. We could not stop anyone in the short roll. Even Draymond had a 20-point game versus us.
Yeah, game 5.
The short roll would just kill us because there was just we had no rim protection outside the AD. So whenever AD was getting brought out, it was tough. You know what I'm saying?
On an unrelated note, do you think this is LeBron's last year as a Laker?
Off the record, not
off
Coach
the
Rome, not Coach Rome. Rome, the Laker fan. I think this is last year. Yeah,
okay, no official prediction or anything. I'm not holding you to it. I'm just curious what you think.
Yeah. No, I do. I think.
Wait, retiring or another?
I don't know if he retires. I don't know if he retires, but I think he's different. You know what I'm saying? Like you guys are talking about Steph, where it's Steph wants to go and win another ring. Obviously, he's driven to get another. I think LeBron James is at the point where he's kind of just listen, bro.
This is his last chance, I think.
Yeah, I don't think. I think
you don't know how much more he can give, right?
Yeah, I don't. Everyone makes fun of him everybody makes fun of him for the whole contemplated retirement and all that, but bro, a dude in year 20, he's going into year 21, fresh off of fucking crazy ass season, going into another season of prep and getting your body right and trying to get yourself to be at this top tier and be relied upon on a team. Bro, that shit weighs on you. You know what I'm saying?
And you know what is also true, because you're right. The 82 game grind is tough. On top of that, there's a lot of young guns coming, man. You got Memphis still. You got Sacramento. Yeah, I know Memphis is they have their own issues, but when you got younger teams in front of you with spry legs and they're just moving and it's just a pull, bro. So
the Kings,
Dude, that's why I always say for us, we just the Warriors have to take advantage of the opportunity.
Kuminga, man,
Kuminga, it's not many years left. Yeah,
bro, Kuminga. So I'll say this: the key to our season is actually, I think I like Moody. But it's really it's Kuminga, because if Kuminga can rebound at a high level, cause I think what Moody does is in a vacuum, it's valuable. But Kuminga's ceiling and what he has shown, from a defensive standpoint on the perimeter, his ability to be a play finisher, Kuminga is actually, if there was a stat that came out the other day, it's Kuminga shot the same percentage as Aaron Gordon on cuts. The difference was volume. It was like half the volume. Still pretty good volume. Just it wasn't like as much. But like it shows you like these flashes of like Kuminga can be like maybe 60-70% of Aaron Gordon off the bench.
That's not a bad comp at all, actually.
Yeah, like
but Dre,
so,
that's
yeah.
why like you say that, right? And I think that if he can close games, we'll be like literally unbeatable.
Yeah, so
but like when I hear stuff about like Draymond not having a relationship with him and stuff like that just irks me because like I feel like if Draymond invested in him, he could help him become Kawhi level elite defensively.
Oh yeah, what's going on with the Draymond?
Going off of the Draymond stuff, Dre, I want to
annoying, bro.
Like about Draymond, like, okay, so do you ever feel, I was just thinking about today, like I was really annoyed about this, is that why is the media, like our media, like Warriors media, like constantly like trying to create a divide in our fan base and like trying to start shit? It almost feels like there was no reason to like tweet about like that today of all days, especially after the Jordan stuff. And then they're bringing up that Draymond needs to fix his relationships with Jonathan Kuminga. And like, honestly, I don't even think that's like true. Like, I mean, it might be, but like, I don't know where that's coming from, but like,
no,
it feels like,
I trust
like
that.
KD.
I trust
No, I think this is what it is. They're aware
bag.
of they're aware of the divide in the fan base. They're aware of it. So they're just tapping into it. They're pushing the right buttons. Like they understand like it's all about at the end of the day views, clicks and attention. So how do they generate the most in July? Like late July, bro. Nothing's going on till September. It's like, okay, let's, we got some Draymond nuggets here from the podcast and this and that. It's like, oh yeah, let's just have this report and then boom, ask a crazy question.
Dre, do you feel that like I just feel like that's kind of disingenuous and like it's just like I don't see that in other sports teams. Like I'm like it's always just us. Like like with KD, like they were doing that bullshit when you didn't like talk to them for a while, and then they'd just go like, "Oh, KD, like how are you doing?" And then blah blah blah, and they'd be like, does this have anything to do with free agency? And then he'd be like, man, I just want to hoop. Like, what the fuck y'all talking about? Like, I just want to play basketball. And it's just like, why is our media like just so fucking annoying and bad? Like, I just feel, I don't know.
You are always.
Nah, you cooking, bro.
Yeah, man. Like, look, I always feel like there's, especially with the timing of this, like it's literally immediately after the Poole and Draymond stuff came back out. Dre and Poole's dad. There's a little bit of, you always have to think of the context of like the timing of things and like, what things could be being pushed. Dre, I don't know actually what you think about this, but some of it could be, you have to think about it. Some of it might be trade related, right? We know Kuminga and Kerr is definitely a question. His relationship with some of the other, guys like Draymond is in question. Him and Poole had a decent relationship, and Poole's, funny enough, Poole's agent is the same agent for some of the guys that we've targeted in trades. Poole and OG Anunoby have the same agent. So there's a lot of stuff out there that could be related to Kuminga, trying to move and maybe trying to move the needle and see if we can actually get some noise and some discussions around trades, because if it comes from somewhere and it reaches back internally to some point, and if someone if some of these guys aren't happy right now, like this is when it would come out.
That's a good point. And that's a good point that you bring up. And I agree to an extent, but I'm also like, my God, there hasn't been even a shred of positivity like in this offseason. Even like when Chris Paul, Chris Paul tweeted to us and like he has his press conference, they're fixating on him being like, oh, you coaching, like that question.
Yeah.
They're drilling him, and I'm like,
but that's like literally how he's acted to the media his entire career.
Yeah, I mean, like that's true. And I shared a link in the chat a little while ago.
Have you seen anything like that? They just don't seem excited about anything for us. Like I just want good vibes again.
Yeah, man. Look, it's tough. Like I was saying, I shared a
link
in the chat a little bit ago, and it was the first instance of us at least publicly hearing, and take everything here with a grain of salt from these guys right now, but actually physically hearing from Chris Paul the right type of shit. Like, I'm here to win games. I'm here to help us win games. It's the first time that it's coming out. So I'm totally with you. There is like it's not quite there yet. There's a cloud around the org.
Here's the thing. I will say this, right? At the end of the day, I know you guys are concerned or whatever, and it's a topic of conversation, but let me say this. You heard in the documentary how many little, sound bites and clips like they were playing and overlays, and they're like, Nick Wright saying one thing, Tim Legler, even
Yeah.
they threw something from Tim Legler, bro. They threw like a little thing there. They threw another thing there, another thing there. It's like, yeah, it's annoying as fans, but I think like Steph, Clay, Draymond, they're fine. I think at the end of the day, we just need to
I
get.
think it's funny to look back on those.
If
To
Kuminga,
be
bro,
honest
I'm
with
just
you,
saying this. If Kuminga can just figure it out, man,
How do you think Chris Paul fits into that, Drake?
I agree. Yeah, well, I think that was the idea because at the end of the day, like Jordan was a good scorer for us. He gave us 20 a night. That's what he averaged. Like he was good in a vacuum at that. But what Jordan struggled with a little bit was like actually being efficient with his possessions and getting others involved regularly. CP3 is a guy that can give you traditionally like 10 to 12 points and like 7-8 assists. And like I think for what we need, like even though Steph and we play like more of a motion offense or whatever, I think what CP brings to the table can complement Kuminga even better than what Steph can do.
We just need to be a net neutral when Steph isn't on the floor. I think
Chris Paul actually might help Klay Thompson a little bit. I don't know. I have a weird feeling about.
No, I think so too.
Their synergy.
No, you're right.
Dre, you don't have any concerns about Kuminga wanting out? You don't feel like there's no validity to that?
I'm not gonna lie.
I don't think so though. I mean, it's all about role in my view.
Shadow said they
I'm gonna say one
worked
thing.
that shit out.
I'm gonna say one thing, right? I and this might come out later in like years or months or a decade. I don't know. I have a feeling Kuminga doesn't feel loved in that organization. I don't know why. There's something about what Draymond said about like you gotta know a guy. I don't know, like. It's fuck, bro. If there's anyone that's going to take Kuminga under his wing and show him love and show him support, it's got to be Draymond. Like, the only dude that's actually shown him love is literally Iggy. That's it.
Yeah.
Like, and maybe Loon a bit. But, like, you need, like, a dude like Draymond to, like just fucking fire you up and just be like, man, like, Jordan Poole, for all the shit that, like, whatever, I know for a fact Steph was in his ear. Draymond was like, and because Jordan was showing like some promise and like he was contributing in a type of way. And Steve Kerr, like, let me tell you this: I don't even think Kuminga has an issue with the vets. I think it's a Kerr thing. Like,
I think Kerr's his biggest problem.
So like, if Kerr can just show some love and Draymond and the organization, I feel like Kuminga feels isolated, bro. You see his Twitter likes and shit.
And I think for sure. And I think he feels more isolated.
Did you see his
after the
post
JP
today?
thing, because he rocked with JP.
Yeah.
So there's there's gonna be some of that buzz going around. Maybe that's why I bring up JP's agents. So.
What do you say? The post? He's like, I love the Bay Area or something. What do you say?
Yeah, well, he's had like just random like Twitter. I don't know. I think he's just an emotional 20-year-old kid liking quotes on Twitter.
He's very.
I mean, what is he going into year 4? This is year 4.
No, year 3.
Yeah. Year 3.
Right. Yeah, year 3. But no, Rob, I was gonna say because you mentioned CP. I remember Laker fans. I feel like Laker fans are underrating, us getting CP3 because you guys were like dying to get him when he was traded to the Wizards.
Bro, no, here's my
people
thing.
were talking about buyout and stuff like that.
No, there were Laker fans. So this is my thing. When I hear Laker fans say, "Oh, like maybe on the minimum he'd be okay," it's like, bro.
I mean,
he's not going for even if he was bought. Bro, even if he got waived or bought out, bro, CP's not a fucking minimum player. Let me tell you this right now. Shake Milton.
Lakers would have had to use their full MLE on him.
Hold on. Yeah, probably. I think CP with it. Yeah. So if you gave CP 11, I think that's about what he's worth. About 10.
I mean, we literally used our MLE on a point guard. So
that's true.
Bro, did you want CP? Yes or no? Did you want him?
Absolutely. But I didn't want him. I didn't want him. Like, I didn't want to have to give anything up for him though. Like,
but here's the thing. And I agree with that. But when people say like, oh, like no way I'm taking him unless it's the minimum, it's like, bro, Shake Milton signed for 2 years. I think what was it, 5 or 10 million or what? 2 years, 10, I think, something like that. Bro, there's like he's not making CP is making at least he's worth like 3 years, 36 or something like that. Like he's not worth. I'm not saying he's worth like 15, 20 a year. But I can tell you he's not a minimum player. So when people say like, oh, like as if it's like as if he's like Rudy Gay, like, oh yeah, I'll take him on the minimum. It's like, bro, he still can give you like 11 points and 7-8 assists a night. Like that's value, man. That's good value. So
Dre, there's two things. There's 2 things I'll say to that. So the first thing, just in regards to like Absolutely. Like he's not a minimum player. Like,
it's the injuries. It's the injury.
he's not. The thing
Yeah.
is the age. He's
Yeah.
aging.
Yes.
He's
100%.
shown like light signs of like his regression. But then overall, like you got to look at it this way: when the Lakers from the Lakers side, when it was about getting him on the minimum, it was you got to remember, bro. That was like if Chris Paul's coming on a minimum, you're essentially trying to build a super team, right? Like you're trying to like whoever you're getting on the full MLE has to be a player that's like high value. Like at that point, every player that you're trying to acquire is coming at a discount, right? Like that. I think that was the justification.
You're right. No, you're right. You're right.
That's trying to get him. You know what I'm saying? Because like
no, you're right. Because realistic, I know you're saying from a more realistic standpoint. But my whole thing is like I don't even think his market, unless the only way I could see him going to the Lakers on like a discount would have been like he just wanted to go there, and that's like he's willing to just say like okay, I want to.
He would have preferred the Clippers.
I think it would have had to be some backdoor shit where it's like, hey, look. Yeah, you take this minimum, but we're guaranteeing you, like, you're gonna start. Because I know he would have gotten games. You're gonna, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, like, it would have been some type of thing like that, where it's like, oh yeah, he took a discount, but he's also going to have an insanely big role on this team that he's not gonna have on any other team. You know what I'm saying? Be a trade or whatever. Like, I think that would have been the case. Which, like, I also don't know how comfortable I'd be with that.
I'll be honest with you guys, like. For you guys, I think if he were to start, if he were starting in place of D'Lo, it would be a big problem because it would have put a lot of pressure. Even though D'Lo's not I don't think he's a good defender at all, but like CP's like 2 inches short, 3 inches shorter, like older, all that stuff. Like it's even worse. And the thing is like with the Warriors, at least you got Wiggins, Draymond, and Loon, where like you can play him in different combinations. Your guys' point of attack is not.
Oh, it would have been shredded, bro. Like it would have been. Yeah. It would have been to the point of like no return because at that point, even if it's okay, if you get Chris Paul, let's say D'Lo is your backup, whatever. Like you're not bringing anyone in that has any semblance of like any type of guard point of attack. Like we're at this point, even right now, as currently constructed, like Gabe Vincent's a solid player, right? I mean, defensively, he's shown that he can be serviceable. He's not an elite point of attack guy. Like he also is a little undersized for him, but he's just like a stronger type of guard. But at the same time, like, bro, we have to rely on Max Christie, who's a second year dude at 20 years old. I'm super high on him, but like at the end of the day, that's our reality.
No, you're right. It's like a
guard wise. We have to rely on him to be like our best guard defender on the team, and it's like that's a huge question mark. I think he can do it, but that's a huge.
Rome. You know let me ask you this.
Yeah.
How do you feel about your team right now? I feel like a lot of people are overhyping your the Lakers offseason moves. I personally think you guys got marginally better. I don't know. I just feel like, but I still feel like it's being overhyped though.
So I think it's fair to say marginally better. I think that's fair, but the context with that is we were a team that was 4 games away from being an NBA Finals team. You know what I'm saying? Like four losses away from being like a team in the finals. So it's like a team that was solid becoming marginally better isn't the worst thing. Like if in reference to the field, but I mean like. I don't know. I'm happy. I'm just happy we retained who we were supposed to retain, and I'm excited to see us kind of build continuity because the last few years the team has been flipped every single year, like literally every single year that LeBron has been on the Lakers, the team has been completely different. So I'm kind of happy that we could just kind of go in with a team that we're familiar with and know what we have, and then kind of get these new guys in, like. Because like that's essentially what you guys did. Like the Warriors the core is intact. Like yeah, you guys swapped out Poole, but at the same time, like you possibly upgraded from him at least from a leadership standpoint with like a Chris Paul. Like I think Dario Saric is kind of slept on. I don't know how you guys feel about Dario Saric, but like, and I'm viewing him like as a big for the Warriors, and I think that might be a very underrated pickup.
He makes us be able to have he makes us be able to run a lot more lineups, like just versatility.
Yeah, he gives you guys a different level of versatility. Like I know everyone's like, the common thing right now for the Warriors is they're tiny, like they're small. But I'm like, I mean, when you really
But
think
that's how
about it,
we've always
you
been.
got Sarge, you got Wiggins, you got Kuminga, you got Dray. I mean, Draymond, it literally has always been a small ball five. Like, there's not, you motherfuckers aren't that small, bro. Like, when you really think about it, like, it's
Yeah,
not that small of a team.
Sarge
So,
gives us a pick and pop five, which we really haven't had a true five that can pick and pop. We've had guys that we played at a small ball five that can do that, but that opens it a lot for us, you know,
I
being able
think
to go
Warrior fans, I want to say
offensively off the
the
bench.
biggest
So
thing. I think the biggest thing Sarge adds out of any skill set I could think of, it's the one thing is passing. His passing,
that's true.
he might be. I'm not going to say he's Bielitsa level. He might be 80%, 90%. Like, he is such a good passer. Like, there's clips of him throwing, and it's funny because, like, on these other teams, like the Thunder and the Suns, like, the Suns don't run the shit we do. If you watch how Sarge moves and operates, it's like he is actually more built to be a Warrior than any other team. He actually fits exactly what we do.
No, I agree with that. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm like, people are kind of asleep. Like, I'm pretty high on Sarge to the Warriors. I think that might be one of the better like pickups for you guys, like in recent memory. Like, I don't see him being bad for the Warriors.
I think he's a mix between Bielitsa and Otto Porter from our title team, in my opinion.
Yeah, he doesn't give you the passing off the bounce that Belly does, but certainly from the post, his reads and the way he sees plays develop.
Is he a good rebounder? That's the
really
question
solid.
mark.
He's okay.
Not as good as Otto, right?
He literally, you know what? I'm gonna fall in love with him because at the end of the day, he does the two. Like, I'm just like revisiting the film that I watched of him, and I'm like, he literally does those two things. He plays hard and he plays the right way. Like that. Like, he's actually exactly that. Like, is he the most talented player? Like, maybe not the most. Like, he has limitations. He's a little bit slow. He's not super athletic. But at the end of the day, he does play hard and he plays the right way. Like, I can't complain. Like, he does he's kind of like Otto and Belly. Like, he does the right things and he's smart and all that. So
I view him as a higher than a vet minimum player. Like, I don't think he's a vet min guy. And
I think the Lakers were trying to get him too.
Yeah, no, they were. Lakers wanted him, and they wanted to play him with AD in like spot.
Ooh, that'd be nice. That'd be interesting.
It would be nice. And that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm like, dude, no, I think Sarge is like, I'm actually pretty high on that for you guys. Like, that was a good. How many roster spots do you guys have right now? 13.
We have two left.
Oh, so you
technically one.
Like, why technically one?
Well, because they usually don't want to sign the 15 guy just
for flexibility.
Oh yeah. Oh, I get it. Yeah, buyout stuff. Yeah.
It's really just money because they say it's flexibility, but like they just don't want to because they're second apron. So they just don't want to pay like the $2 million and then the repeater and all that. But really, we have two open, but technically it's one because we're not using that last one. So the one, but we can. So basically, if Gallinari gets bought out, that's my guy because Gallo. I was watching film on him, dude. This guy would be another perfect Warrior. Like, he can pass, shoot. He's actually a sneaky good defender next to Draymond.
He reminds me a little bit more of Bielitsa than.
You rather have him than TJ Warren, Dre? I know you aren't. I know you aren't high on TJ.
100%. I would give me Gallo over TJ Warren every day. Every day, dude. TJ Warren would look like maybe not exactly like Kelly Oubre, but. Gallinari would literally be a juiced up Bielitsa.
The reason why
I think he's cooked, by the way. I think TJ Warren might be cooked. Like, I think
really?
I don't
but
think
dude, he was playing pretty well on the Nets though.
Yeah, but I don't know.
I don't think he's a playoff guy.
I like him. I like him because I feel like he can get his own shot.
He's not. Yeah, but I don't. Yo, listen. We don't need. I know people value shot creation. We have Chris Paul. We have Steph. That's all we need. At the end of the day, most of the shit we do is off the ball anyways, and I trust CP to run. As long as CP can run a positive second unit, I think we're in really good position to win.
What's your guys' closing lineup in your mind?
Okay, that's my one. So right what you said, and I've harped on this point for about a month now. This is why I wanted Torrey Craig so badly because he's the only guy in my mind that I'm like, okay, if we sign this guy, he can be.
Oh my god, I thought Torrey Craig was a Warrior, bro. Oh my god, I was shocked. Bro, you know what's worse?
Bro,
you know what's worse?
It's actually good that he's not, to be honest.
I don't want to make y'all feel bad, but bro, he went for minimum too. He didn't even go.
Oh, I know. Dude, I wanted him so. Listen, I was. People were killing me.
Dre, I think it's all playing time.
I'm sure it was, but people were like, "Who do you think Torrey Craig is? You're blah 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 blah." I'm like, bro, he could.
Did people watch him in the playoffs?
I know.
He was good. But really good.
you make a good point though. Like the closing lineups, that's why I wanted Torrey Craig so badly, but we didn't get him. So at this point, it comes down to one guy. I think the most likely guy that in my head, I'm like, okay, this is the guy we go to. That like reliable is GP2. Now after him, because here's the thing though, teams are going to leave him open. So there's like a give and take there, right? Defensively, he gives you stuff, but like he is not really like a shooter per se. So like there is some spacing issue. He's not perfect. The only other guy I can think of is Saric, and the hope, the dream is that Kuminga gets to the point where he can be a closing.
Yep.
But I just don't know if he. I just don't know. I just don't, because Moses Moody was closing games against you guys, bro, in Game 4. Like,
hey, Moody corner three. That corner three, bro. That shit was. Every time I saw him in the corner, I'm like, he's hitting it every fucking time.
Yeah,
that
dude.
pissed me off.
And you know what's
he was
crazy?
solid.
You look at Moody's numbers in the regular season, like the last 2 years. He's only been in the league for 2 years. Like they're like, oh, okay, whatever. In the playoffs, he's a playoff riser, bro. He plays so crazy in the play. Like
when he takes that leap, though, when he takes the actual NBA leap, like the real NBA leap, he's gonna.
Well, here's the thing, though. I made a comparison. I'm like, in a way, I could see. I'm not saying like they're Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson, but I kind of view Kuminga and Moody as like kind of stylistically next to Chris Paul. They can be like a Bridges play finisher, even though Bridges was like he could had stuff off the bounce, whatever. Like Bridges could be a play finisher at times in the role as a short roll, like all the certain things like that off of screens, like curls. I think, and then Cam Johnson, I view Moses Moody as a Cam Johnson light.
I can see it.
Where like he can just be catch and shoot off the bounce. Now, obviously, they're not as good as those guys. Like Cam Johnson's a fine player. He's really good. He's damn good. And Mikal Bridges is a fucking all-star damn near.
Yeah, he's like a star now. Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah.
But I do think like CP can unlock like Bridges like stuff in Kuminga, and he can unlock Cam Johnson type of things in Moody. Like there's stuff there for sure. But my hope is that ultimately Kuminga gets to that point. I just don't see it. Like I'm not gonna bank on it. So I would say the 2 safe bets, maybe 3, because Looney can close games every now and then, depending on the matchup. But I don't love it though. You know what I'm saying? Like I gotta love it. I don't.
But Dre,
Yeah.
GP2 closing games is proven though. Like I don't think we have to. I mean, I know you want the flexibility aspect of it in terms of like having options.
I prefer Otto. Like
I know, but we've seen GP2 close games.
No. I agree. I'm not saying this is why I'm saying GP2 is the best option. 100%. My thing is this: to have a 6'8" dude who can shoot, defend, and rebound. Like it doesn't get better than that. Like I wanted Torrey Craig so bad, but it didn't happen. So GP2 is probably our best option. But I prefer like if you can do the GP2 stuff at 6'8", like give me that guy. You know what I'm saying? But it didn't happen. So at the end of the day, we'll see what happens. Hopefully, we're not in positions where we actually have to close games. Like hopefully,
Steph, Clay, Draymond, Kuminga, Chris.
No.
Wait. So
Wait.
No, bro, you missed Wiggins, bro.
Oh, Wiggs. Oh my god. I forgot Wiggs.
It would be
so Chris Paul's not closing games then.
I'm gonna be honest with you. It depends on the matchup.
Yeah.
If we're down by like 5 or 6, like if we're down by like 5 points with like 3 minutes to go, I think we might put CP out there.
Damn. So Wiggins, Draymond, Steph, Clay.
And then you take your pick of the.
I think the 4, bro. I think the 4 is like basically a given. Like Steph, Dre, Clay, and Wiggins. I think it's just that one person that it depends on matchup dependent.
So tier 1 for me would be GP2, and then like tier 2.
Hey, Lou Muse, I like that closing lineup the best. I'm not gonna lie.
The bottom one, right?
With Sarge.
The Sarge.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So like tier 1 would be GP2, and then for me tier 2 would be Sarge and Loon, and then like the unknown questionable tier would be like Kuminga, and then it depends like. But I would say the thing is with Sarge and Loon is that at the end of the day they are bigs. Like I prefer a wing personally. Like the reason that it was called the death lineup was because you had literally Andre Iguodala out there.
All fucking wings,
bro,
all wings.
Iggy was like our worst player. Like think about that. In our lineup, in our 5-man lineup closing games, Iggy was our worst player. Like
your worst player was a point forward that could guard the best player on the other team.
Hit big shots. Exactly. Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
dude. And so I want to just ask you one more thing. So with the Lakers, so you guys are going to start. I know the report with Jovan, right? He said that Vincent is going to be competitive with like D'Lo as like a starter? Is that okay? Let's say whoever okay, I'm assuming if Vincent wins the spot, is he gonna be point of attack or is it gonna be Reeves?
It would definitely be Gabe Vincent, but I'll say this: I really don't see Gabe Vincent taking D'Lo's spot, especially to start the year. That's something that I think that the team would ease into. I don't think it's going to be like out the gate, like training camp. I don't think you're going to see a situation where training camp happens and it's like, oh shit, Gabe is killing in training camp. He has to start. I don't see a world where that happens. I actually think Gabe Vincent's a little overrated. Just not in the sense of like him being like a bad player, but like I think him starting in the finals and starting in that playoff run with Jimmy and going as far as they did at the 8th seed, like I think it's a little skewed how people view him. I think he's a solid, fine player, but I think as a backup point guard is where you're getting his true value. So I don't see a situation where he would be a starter for us, but I could definitely see him closing games. Like 100%, I can see him closing games. Like I think that I'm not big on starting it anyways. I can care less who the fuck starts games. We actually had a space about who the fuck should be the fifth starter, and like I could genuinely care less. I care about who's closing games, especially like in a playoff setting.
100%.
And Gabe Vincent fits that mold where it's like, yeah, absolutely. If on a night where D'Lo looks how he looked against like Denver, yeah, Gabe's probably closing that game. Right?
Unless D'Lo's like really hot offensively, I think.
Yeah, if D'Lo's on a burner, he's gonna close the games absolutely. But like I think Gabe, I think that's where you'll see him, like see his value, like as a closer. I think that's for sure. Like that's how I view Gabe. I think he's a backup point guard. I don't think there's many teams in the NBA where you're starting Gabe Vincent comfortably. But I think as a backup, he's one of the better backups in the league, and that's why I'm kind of like high on him. So,
Rome, do you see Taurean Prince closing most games?
Taurean Prince.
No, I don't.
I would like to. By the way, like for the Warriors, I would have liked. Like
I'm high on Taurean. No, don't get it twisted, bro. I think Taurean's gonna be great. I just don't think he's gonna close games because I think Rui is. I think Rui. We just paid Rui a lot of money, and he's shown.
You guys have a good future. Post LeBron, you've set yourselves up. You've set yourselves up.
Oh, I'm so excited. Like, I'm not saying I'm excited for LeBron to leave. I'm just excited. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh my god, we're in this lull of like, what do we do when LeBron?
You got a core. You got Reeves, Rui, and then AD.
All signs are pointing to AD getting an extension in August as well.
100%.
3-year extension. So
the max, is he getting the max?
I think he's getting the max. It's the Lakers, bro.
Dude,
Lakers. Hey, listen, bro. Lakers pay their guys, bro. Like the stars in LA get paid. Like even if they shouldn't. Like I think he's touching.
Dre, to be honest though, I know we've been talking about both teams. I still don't want us to face the Lakers. I just think it's a bad matchup for us.
It's a bad matchup,
especially with the whole Dre. And the whole Draymond dynamic too, bro.
You know what I want? Hey, you know what I want? I want you guys to face the Nuggets because listen, another off the record, not Coach Rome. I think you guys actually could beat the Nuggets. Like I actually.
Bro, no, I don't think we would have beaten them last season.
Last season probably not. But like Bruce Brown being gone and like they kind of have a little.
Definitely, if you're talking about this season, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think because here's the thing, bro. I think you guys improved, and I got a lot of shit for that because I tweeted like I want to say a month ago, and I was like, people always count the Warriors every single year, and then all of a sudden we're in like April, and they're looking like a juggernaut, and they're one of the better teams in the league, and like I just don't see a situation where like that would change, especially when you think about what you guys essentially lost, which is a player that was already kind of inconsistent, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's kind of up and down. So I don't really see, like, I think you guys kind of improved from last year. So, and I don't know if the Nuggets did. I think they got worse.
They definitely.
No, you're right. Definitely.
I think it's fair to say they got worse. And so I don't think the Nuggets title window is as large as people are making it seem.
Yeah, it's not.
I think listen, bro, at the end of the day, I see 4 teams in the West.
Yes.
Nuggets, Suns,
it's you guys, it's us,
Lakers.
Phoenix, and then that fourth spot is
It's
like
you guys. No, it's you guys. It's you guys.
that
No,
fourth
he
spot
said
is
Lake.
tough. No.
He said
I'm
Lakers.
saying Lakers, Warriors, Suns, and then the
Oh,
fourth
okay. The
spot
fourth
is
spot's
like
open. Gotcha,
I think
gotcha.
the fourth spot is like it's
How
kind
do you
of up
how do
for
you not put the
grabs,
Nuggets
bro.
there though? You have to put the Nuggets there, bro. They're the defending champs.
Hey man, listen,
Yo,
I
so,
bro.
so
know.
Rome makes. So here's the thing. He's actually. So I said this the other day. If the Mavs and the Nuggets play tomorrow in a series,
Oh yeah.
I don't know, man.
That's what I'm. Hey, listen, that's what I'm saying.
I
Like,
don't know.
I think the Nuggets, the Clippers, the Grizzlies,
Yeah.
the Kings. I think all those teams are essentially going to be fighting for fourth place.
No, but
That's just what I.
Dre,
That's just how I view it. That's how I
Dre,
view it.
you bring up the Mavs, but I think the jury's still out on Kyrie and Luka.
I'm telling you,
I know
dude,
their team. I know their
Mavs
team
will
got
be
better.
top 4 or 5 seed easily.
Yeah,
Or
Mavs got a lot better, bro.
maybe not
Like,
4,
yeah,
but they'll be okay. I can guarantee you this, barring like some, and there'll be injuries, but like barring some crazy ass injury, Mavs will be a top 6 seed. I really do.
I view it that way too.
They're
Yeah.
dude. I'm telling you, bro. Grant Williams is a
Oh yeah,
bro.
Grant. Yeah.
Grant Williams is like one of the better like.
Bro, don't they
small-
still have an MLE spot though?
Yeah, they have a TP. They
What are
have a
they
TP
signing?
traded. No, they have a TPE traded player exception for like from. They traded some Bertans, I think. So they got like a chunk of money.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah,
But I
did a lot to get rid of him
And they
too.
got Derek Lively, who, by the way, I know he's not like anything crazy, but he's still I think he's better than JaVale. Like, I think he's better.
Very raw right now, but he'll be a good player for sure.
Like I'm not saying for this year, but yeah. And here's the thing: they got Grant. They signed Steph Curry. Steph is decent, and then they got a couple other pieces, bro. Their bench is way better than it was last year.
You know what's funny? Dallas was so desperate to move Bertans to open up that.
Oh yeah, you're right, Rashawn Holmes.
They went down in the draft and they moved Bertans with the pick, and they
Mm.
fucking moved down instead of moving up. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that before.
But they still got Lively though, right? They got their guy.
I think they did, right? They did get
Yeah,
Lively.
yeah,
they
But
got Lively.
the point is, they literally moved down and still moved Bertans and moved down in the draft.
Because Bertans is probably a negative asset, maybe. I think.
Is Max Kleba still on their team?
Yes, I think he.
Okay.
I think he is. Yeah. He's a good player too.
Hey, I remember that Max that 3-pointer against the Lakers.
Bro, that was crazy. Yeah. I think Braun was. I think he
that
was
was crazy. No, that was That was crazy.
Or was that AD or someone was hurt in that stretch? Yeah.
No, but I agree though. I agree with you, Rome. I think the Warriors, Lakers, and then the Suns. I think the Suns are going to be a really good regular season team. I think they'll be top 1 or 2.
Yeah.
But I don't really see them doing anything in the playoffs, to be honest.
Suns are going to be the number 1 seed.
Yeah. Wait. Sorry. What were you guys saying?
They'll get a lot of regular season.
No. Yeah. I'm saying I think the Suns are going to be the 1 seed. I think that's pretty cut and dry.
Yeah, man. That's a deep team, bro. Like.
Yeah. Question is,
even like the other guys, bro, Eric Gordon and Metu.
If they played you guys in the playoffs, I'd take you guys easily.
Oh yeah, I'd take.
I know some Laker fans that are like, because I listen to some of your spaces and you're like a little bit like, oh, the Suns are good or whatever. Like they are good, and dude, you got to respect their talent 100%, and I have respect for their talent. But at the end of the day, like AD is the ultimate equalizer as from a defensive standpoint. If he's ready to go, they're not beating you guys.
Between me and you, Dre. I don't trust their best player. That's where I'm kind of like.
Who do you view as their best player, Rome? Who do you view as their best player?
Well, consensus says. You know what? That's actually a good question.
Because I say Book.
Hey, you know what? I said that the other day. I said I think D Book might be the Suns' best player, and you know I didn't get a lot of pushback, so I'm kind of I think Book might be. That's Book's team, bro. And Kevin Durant, man, like, I don't know, man. I don't know if he was injured. I don't know what was going on, but I'm looking at 2 straight playoff series, like 2 straight years in the playoffs where I just don't see the same Kevin Durant I saw.
Hey, Golden Knight asked, how do you guys view the Kings this year? First round again. I don't think they got better, and I think that if you don't get better, you get worse because everyone else got better. So I think they're probably a first round exit, matchup dependent, to be honest. But I don't think they got better.
So Rome, I'll say this about that about Booker and the Suns. I think Booker has to be their best player if they want to do something in the playoffs, and the biggest reason for that is I think he needs to take his playmaking to another level. Beal is not going to be that guy, especially because they're going to be playing him at the 1 to open up their offense from a playmaking standpoint. It has to be Book. Book has to take his playmaking to another level in order for them to actually, I think, make a lot of noise in the playoffs. Now, I don't know if his game is going to. I don't want to say ready. I don't think because ready is not the right word, but I just don't see him being able to, find these guys and open up the offense and being able to find these guys and these spot up shooters and technically really compromise his game from from an ISO standpoint and from the types of stuff that he does in the mid range, how he gets in the block, how he's able to draw fouls. He's gonna have to compromise a lot to be able to do that, and I just don't think that he can combine both of them effectively. But if I'm wrong and he's able to take his game to a completely another level from a playmaking standpoint, that's when I think they can make some noise. Because Beal is not going to be that dude who's going to run their offense. It's just he's never been that type of player.
But if that's the case, then why would they have Beal going into training camp as the starting point guard?
Yeah, that's the thing. I just don't think it's going to work. I think that they see Beal as their 1, but when you look at how their offense is going to be run, I think that you'll see Booker really making having to make more than Beal is.
I think Booker's a better player.
Yeah, I think I think Booker is already a better playmaker than Beal, but he has to take it to a whole nother level, I think, in order for them to succeed. Beal has always been better off ball than he has been on ball anyways.
Yeah, but I think they want to capitalize on his experience running the point during, when John Wall was out on the Wizards. That's why I think that's why they're having him as a starting point guard. But no, I agree with you. I think Booker it's on Booker, I think.
To me, it's on Book. I mean, it would be the first if it happens, and if I'm wrong, then I'll say I'm wrong. We've never seen Beal be able to really run an offense. So this would be the first time.
Yeah, for a scoring guard, he could play make, but running an offense is a lot different. Like setting a table, being an actual table setter is so much different.
I'm not gonna lie.
They don't have one of those.
So I know CP, whatever is like. I'm not saying Chris Paul is the Chris Paul of even like 4 years ago when he was in Houston and 2018, 2019. Like he's not that. I don't even think he's even close to that. But I will say this: having a guy that can throw post entry passes, that understands like how to just like set it up, set the table up, set up a Spain pick and roll, set up a like certain short roll actions, like just that ability to have a smart playmaker, decision maker out there. I think the Suns lost a ton of value in CP, even though CP's like not great at other things like defense or whatever. Like I'm not saying CP's like a huge loss and stuff. Like Bradley Beal's a better player, but just the very skill set of having a guy that can set players up at the point guard, they're gonna lose that. Like just an alpha that can do that because there's like somewhat like there's point guards kind of guys that can kind of like whatever, but CP's like a legit guy that can just like, okay, KD, boom, post entry pass space. Okay, Book, rotate that, like set the table up for like create a formation. And so now Booker can make fucking plays for sure, and so can Beal, and so can KD. But are they like real like table setters? I don't know. Like you know what I'm saying? Like just the very like ability to like find DeAndre Ayton. Like I have a feeling DeAndre Ayton's gonna be very unhappy.
Oh yeah. Oh, 100%.
Even more than he already.
Did you guys see what he said the other day?
He said, I don't hate you guys anymore or something?
Well, no. He was saying how he feels like he has like no fans at all on the Suns.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't like he feels like he's the most hated. Yeah. And they need his problem with him is he needs touches, and he needs a lot of touches offensively to be effective.
He's not good enough defensively. Like,
and he's not exactly, and he's not
buying. But that's what their coach said though. They said that they're going to try to empower him offensively and give him touches so that he's empowered even more on the defensive end, focusing on anchoring the defense.
That's the problem with Ayton. That's literally the problem with Ayton, that he needs that in order to be empowered defensively.
But dude, I think Frank's going to be a really good coach for him though.
No, but here's the thing: if the Suns play us, Draymond is going to like completely fuck shit up for them. Like I'm telling you, he will make Loon and Dre are going to just and Wiggins, bro. We would smoke Phoenix, bro. They are like so. I'm more worried about Denver as presently constructed than Phoenix because, dude, I give Phoenix the talent in terms of credit, the credit in terms of talent. They get the credit. Like, they got dudes you got to worry about. At the end of the day, like, from a 1 through 8 standpoint, when it talk about schemes, we got some fucking schemes. Yo, GP.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, unless you tell me the Suns end up with like a top 15, I'm not even saying top 10. Give me a top 15 or top 20 perimeter defender, like, that you can kind of play. Josh Okogie, as good as he is, he's not that guy. He's a really good one, but he's not better than OG or Wiggins or you can go up and down the list. Like, he's not a top 15 perimeter guy defensively, and he can't shoot. So I'm just saying, like, they don't have enough versatility. I think they got the scoring, obviously, but do they have enough? Like, we saw in the playoffs last year, like, defense. The reason the Lakers beat us was not because of offense. It was because of defense. The reason we beat the Kings was not because of offense. It was because of defense. The reason anyone beats anyone is almost exclusively because of defense. So the Suns, man.
Which team? Oh, you're talking about the Suns?
Yeah, if they end up being like a top 13-ish defense, maybe I can take them seriously. But if they're not top, 11 or 13, I don't like. If they're like,
no one's talked about it too, bro. Where's the rim pressure on that team? Like, Bradley Beal is actually an underrated driver. I think he's underrated as a driver. Devin Booker, obviously, he's solid, but like, that was a big issue for them last year. Like, they could not exploit Denver, like, and their like lack of rim protection. There was none of it.
I love our matchups against them. Like, bro, imagine throwing Draymond on KD, throw Loon on Ayton, throw Wiggs on like Book, and then throw like Clay on or like GP2 on Beal or some shit. Like, bro, I love that because I know for a fact they can't guard us. So like, I'll take my chances with Booker forcing like mid ranges over Wiggins, or like DeAndre Ayton trying to like post hooks over Kavan. Like, I'm living with that shit because I know our guys play better defense than their guys, and so like, you play the math, like, and we play faster, we play stronger, like, we have better rim pressure, like Wiggins, Kuminga, Steph, good rim pressure. Right there.
Yeah,
I don't think it's crazy to say that we're a bigger matchup problem for Phoenix than the Lakers are for us. I think that's totally.
But
true. I would agree. I'd agree.
I feel like the Suns are missing like the rim pressure at the wing spot. But no, I think Beal, I saw a stat the other day. I think he, like, over like his last 5 seasons, in each of those seasons, he's attempted at least, I think, like 30% of his shots at the rim, with I think 65% or almost 70%.
Yeah, he's an underrated driver in the basketball.
Here's what's gonna happen.
He's actually pretty underrated.
They're going to you're right. But here's what's going to happen. They're going to get a lot of free throws in the regular season, and then that first round of the playoffs, that shit's going 6 or 7 games. You're going to see it's going to go. I don't know who they're playing, but whoever they play is going 6 or 7. And I see it from a mile away. Like, those calls that they're going to get in the regular season, they're not going to get in the playoffs, and then it's going to be a completely different game. Like, you're going to see, bro, I see this every year.
So do you see them similar to the Kings? In terms of an offensive standpoint?
They'll be better offensively.
I think they'll be better than
but
that
they'll
team.
be way worse defensively. Like, way
You
worse.
think they'll be worse than the Kings defensively?
You know what's funny? The Kings were 25th on defense ranked, but I actually thought the Kings weren't, like, horrible defensively. The thing is, because they actually blew a lot of our stuff up. Like, and we were a top offense. So I think here's what I'll say. Schematically, I think the Kings were able to just do a little bit more. You got Davion Mitchell, but the thing is, like, I don't like Josh Okogie. Like, if it ends with him, because it doesn't even like, I just, unless you tell me DeAndre Ayton makes like a significant.
I'm about to say DeAndre Ayton has to take a leap.
Leaps as a rim protector, so they can actually funnel shit into him. They can't even do that now.
Well, here's the thing, right? Mikal Bridges protected Ayton.
Yeah.
Like right. Mikal Bridges and then CP was like a shrewd defender, and then you got, like, you know what I'm saying, you got some dudes. They lost Bridges, right? Like, really, they don't really have any POA. Like, I don't even know, so it's Beal, Book, KD, Ayton, and then who's their fifth? Who are they starting at, like?
Okogie's really their POA.
I think maybe Okogie?
It's got to be Okogie. So then let me tell you what's going to happen. Every team's going to play Josh Okogie like they do Draymond. Like, this is what's gonna happen. So they better Josh Okogie better be able to make some plays.
If I'm the Lakers, bro, I'm playing bigger, and I'm putting like LeBron James on Okogie. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just 100%. Like LeBron, go let Okogie shoot open threes. Anthony Davis, just stay close to the rim and switch off between LeBron, like checking a guy like Ayton if he's in the mid post area. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't even.
Bro, if you the way you shut them down is you just play a zone. You just play a zone. Like Bradley Beal, Booker, and KD live in the mid range. They don't live at the 3-point line. Bradley Beal's not even that good of a shooter at the three. He's like 30. I think he's like 35.
He shoots like 34, 35%. He's like league average from three.
If you treat Bradley Beal like Chris Paul, and if you treat Josh Okogie like Draymond, like exaggerate that, and then you stick on KD. You don't leave KD open. That's stupid. But then what about Booker? Booker, okay, you can just keep a single coverage there, just have a body on him, and then Ayton single coverage. Like, I think there's you can just neutralize it. Let me say this too: if one of Beal, Booker, or KD are struggling, they just get shut down, they can't win. It's just not possible. Just the math doesn't work. Because the possessions that they'll be eating up are not going to be produced on the other end. There's a reason why the Warriors, where you could get away with Klay Thompson missing so many shots, because you still got Draymond and you got Wiggins. You can get those possessions back defensively. But if Bradley Beal gets shut down, are you getting those possessions back?
Dre, out of those three guys, who would be your priority to shut down?
I say Book.
I say KD.
Yeah, I would say Booker, KD. Booker, KD. Yeah.
Book, yeah.
I would say, I like, low key though. I don't know. Book is nice, but I think KD is KD, man. So if you just shut KD down, I think Book might follow suit, low key. I think KD's the head of the snake because. You saw what Aaron Gordon did, man. He did a good job, contesting shots, moving his feet.
I just feel like KD's a lot less guardable than a Beal or a Book when you're trying to throw defenders at somebody. I feel like I like my chances throwing my best defender on Book as opposed to Kevin Durant, just because Kevin Durant is fucking 7 feet tall.
That's a good point.
Lives in the mid range and wants to take tough shots anyways. So I'm kind of higher on the chance of stopping of. You know what I'm saying? Think about it from your guys' perspective. Imagine putting Wiggins or Kuminga or even GP2 on a Book, right? I feel like you're gonna have a better chance. Damn, you guys got a lot of wings though.
No, GP2 is actually really good on Book.
You can kind of throw a lot at the Suns, bro. I'm just thinking about it. Y'all could literally throw GP2 on Beal or Book. You can put Wiggins on KD or Book.
If Kuminga wakes up on the right side of the bed one morning, just one morning, we could throw Kuminga on Beal, 100%.
Yeah. Seriously, that's you guys actually have some pretty good wing depth, defensively for sure. I'm looking at it from an offensive standpoint of just from the Lakers, bro. Who the fuck is stopping LeBron, Rui Hachimura, Anthony Davis? I'm dude, I'm just who the fuck is stopping these guys? At the rim.
They have no one to stop Reeves, dude.
Ayton and Eubanks? That's not gonna, you know what I'm saying?
I'm telling you this right now. I don't know what the fuck they're gonna do in the playoffs if they play Drew Eubanks against us. If you play Drew Eubanks against Steph, you might as well. Bro, it's a wrap.
You can't play a guy like Eubanks. And I like Eubanks. I don't even hate Eubanks. Eubanks is a really solid utility big.
That's the crazy part.
You can't play him against a team like the Warriors, bro. That's just not gonna. Yeah,
I'm telling you this. In the regular season, we're gonna make Eubanks look like a god. And then in the play, I'm telling you this because I see it. This happens every year. We're gonna be we need size, we need a big, blah blah blah. We're gonna make it. He's gonna get 6 offensive rebounds, and we're gonna be he has 14 and 7. But you know what's gonna happen in the playoffs? We all know it's the Enes Kanter. It's Enes Kanter syndrome. The dude is a regular season guy. When schemes actually get played out, we know what happens. He gets played off the fucking court.
I need to see Dre. I need to see. Honestly, if I'm the Suns, bro, I'm just leaning into offense. I think you have to have a toxically, a very toxic offense. Like it has to be like remember in Brooklyn when Harden after the Harden trade, dude, they had Bruce Brown playing center in the playoffs because whenever you were trying to hedge, like when Ye would hedge, he's slipping that screen, he's wide the fuck open. You need a situation where Yuta Watanabe and like Eric Gordon are your third and are your fourth and fifth guys with like a KD small ball spot. Like it has to be some unconventional shit because you're not guarding shot at the rim anyways. So if you try to put like conventional players in those positions, you're gonna get fucking smoked. Like you're gonna get deep fried, bro, with like a Ayton or a fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like Ayton or Eubanks or even like Metu trying to like protect the rim with no point of attack outside of like a Kogi. Like, dude, you're like, and this is why the Vogel signing is so fucking weird to me because Vogel is so one-sided as a like he is so hell bent on like I have to have playable bigs,
optimizing defense. Yep.
Like defense first. Like they don't really have like
no.
They're banking on, and I'm not saying it's not gonna happen because maybe it does. They're banking on Ayton to take a leap, bro. Like that's their only way to be a championship team.
Yeah, that's
like,
the only
if
way.
Ayton does not become who Vogel thinks he's gonna become, they're cooked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that if there's anyone that can unlock Ayton, it's Frank.
It's tough.
And
bro.
You know what? No. Let me say this. Honestly, I think Ayton's cooked, and I'll tell you why. Because how old was Wiggins when Wiggins got traded to us? He was like 25, 26. DeAndre Ayton, how old is he? Is he 27 right now?
No, bro, he's 24. He's 24.
Ayton's young. I'm about to say Ayton's pretty young.
Yeah, he was in the Luka draft.
In the NBA.
Was he the 2019 draft?
He's turning
2018. He's 2018 draft.
2018. Okay.
So he's turning. So Ayton's turning 25 in like a couple days. So he's basically 25. Yeah. Okay, so think about this, right? And Andrew Wiggins was 25 when he was traded to the Warriors. Complete turnaround. Now, I'm not. So Ayton is still young. Okay, you're right. I don't know. I don't even know why I said 27. He was drafted in like what 2018 or some shit.
Yeah, he's the Trey and Luka class.
He was
he was like what was he the second or first or whatever?
No, he was the first pick, bro. He was pick number 1.
Oh yeah, you're right. It was him, Bagley, Luka, right?
Yeah, Trey, Luka. Yeah.
Okay. I honestly, my memory's so foggy on this shit, but yeah, you're right. So he's 25 years old. Now here's the thing. With Wiggins, it's like, okay, you can turn him around. But it's about mentality. Wiggins bought in. So the only way Ayton can actually, and here's the other thing. There's two sides to the coin. It's, do you buy in and do you have the ability? Because you can buy in, but if you don't have the ability, it doesn't really matter. So does he buy in? Does he have the ability? Now, I think him buying in is more likely than him actually even having the ability. Because I don't even know if he has the ability. Like, he can switch a little bit, but, like, can he be the anchor of, like, a top third like a top 10 defense? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think so. Like,
he would have to be, because I think that offensively, from a schematic standpoint, like if they had gone, because of the playmaking, if they have gone out, right, Beal doesn't necessarily move the needle for them. Like, they're just getting buckets, right? Like if they had gotten a guy like a Darius Garland, right, their offense would be fucking scary.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if they had gotten a guy like that they're putting,
you know why? Because he's dynamic.
He's super dynamic. So, like, you're getting another guy who's pretty I don't want to say one-sided necessarily offensively.
Their skill sets overlap.
They need to do, their skill sets overlap. They need to do so much defensively to be able to make up for that. Like, I think everyone's just, and I think they're going to have, probably the, a top 3 rated offense in the regular season. But this shit. Sorry?
Who's the third option out of Book, KD, and Beal?
Beal.
I think you got to be Beal.
Beal, they have a $50 million third option.
You think he has that mentality?
He's never done it before.
Next to Russ, he played pretty well. But here's the thing: Russ is a fucking crazy good playmaker. Like, he finds dudes, man. He really helped Bradley Beal out because he was just setting the. You know what's funny? Russ was like setting the table up for Beal the way Chris Paul set the table up for Book. It's kind of crazy, the parallels there. Like, the Suns don't have that.
Say that one more time, Dre.
So Russ was like setting the table up for Beal the way Chris Paul was setting the table up for Book.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
just
I
off of
agree
like
with that.
curls,
I agree
like
with
kind
that.
of like the Paul George thing, like the Paul like off pin downs and like, oh okay, just like, and then I'll cut it the right time, boom, find you in the corner. Like it was like perfect. And the thing is, the Suns don't have a playmaker that can set the table up for Beal like that. And if Beal is the playmaker, can he set the table up for, even, the likes of like a Kevin Durant or like, because you're going to have to like elevate those around you. Can they elevate? They can get buckets, but can they actually elevate each other? That's the question.
Yeah.
And that's like, I think that's also, if you think about it, bro, like when you think about Ayton, that's what's going to unlock Ayton. Like, yeah, coach can do as much as he can, but what unlocks the center is a table setting type of player that's going to get him his touches. Because like if you're gonna rely on Devin Booker, like Bradley Beal and KD to like get you those touches when you get a block shot and you're running the fast break and you're running the floor, as if those guys don't want to take transition pull up jump shots and or get to the rim themselves or build their own rhythm and get to the line. Like that's one thing where they built this roster, and I'm just like, what in the world like was going through you guys' head when you swapped out Chris Paul and did not get a single point guard on the team, and then you just released Campaign? Not that he could set a table, but like you literally don't have a point guard.
So I'm not gonna lie, that campaign for Bol thing, like they basically released him to sign Bol. I guess is Bol
it's kind of like a salary dump too. Is also like a
I think that was just. I mean, you basically lost. That's a good point. They lost the last of any playmaking. They like as a true. I think Campaign arguably is the second best, third best. I would take KD and Book over him, and I know KD's playmaking gets laughed at, but KD does demand a lot of attention because he sees a lot of doubles. Beal, I don't even know if Beal is that much of a better playmaker than Campaign. Maybe that's a crazy thing to say, but I just think Beal has tunnel vision sometimes. Like when I'm watching Beal, I watch a dude that's just like hunting his shot. He's not really hunting playmaking. Like Booker's learned like the art of playmaking. Like I'm watching Book and he's like driving kicks, skip passes, all that shit.
I think he could be a point. He can almost play point guard at this point.
That report, you're right. And so that report when they said Beal is expected to be the point guard, I'm like, why not Book?
Yeah. Let Brad be the off ball guy like he was with John Wall, like he was with Russell Westbrook. Let Book take the on ball responsibilities, because honestly, I think I saw a graphic where like, dude, his numbers were kind of crazy. Like when Chris Paul was out and like he was playing point essentially, his numbers were like overworked. Like not just like the scoring, like dude, the playmaking, like he was getting high assists. Like
that's what I was saying. That's their path to success. Like from an offensive standpoint, is if he takes leaps and bounds from a playmaking.
It has to be Book's playmaking leap, and it has to be DeAndre Ayton as an actual rim protecting anchor, defensive anchor. That's the only. If those two things happen, then that team's probably winning a championship. Like honestly.
Oh yeah, I agree.
They're probably leapfrogging every team in the West.
Things happen because Ayton might even get lost in the offense a little bit, right? Like he's gonna get they're gonna run high ball screens, and like these guys are gonna be pulling up from three before he even rolls, right? So, but if he can lock in and he can commit defensively and have be able to develop the skill set to be able to rotate and actually funnel shit into this dude, then they can get it done.
That's the thing about championship teams, though. Like it's all about that role, right? Like what role are you gonna take on this team, right? Like you guys know that very well. Like a Warrior fan, like bro, like every player has a set role, right? Like even like to like the Otto like Porter Juniors of the world, like those, like every player has to set a foundation of like, this is what I'm gonna do for this team, and like that's something that like sets apart a team that wants to actually like win a championship and a team that's just very talented on paper. And that's where there's question marks. It's like, what the fuck role is Bradley Beal? Like him being a point guard, yeah, sure. Like I get it. Like you're buying into a role where you're gonna try and be the playmaker and set the table, but like you're not even fit to do that. Like to what Dre was saying about Ayton, like it's one thing to buy in, but do you have the capacity and the competency to actually do it?
Exactly.
And if you look at these, a lot of the teams over the past, say 7 or 8 years that have won the championship, almost every single one of those teams has a guy who's either someone who's brought in at the minimum, mid-level guy, someone off the bench, or a guy who's getting at the fifth spot in the starting rotation, who gives you something that you did not know you were going to have.
Yeah.
Like Bruce Brown last year with the Nuggets.
Mm.
Belly and Otto Porter for us. You know, there's some of those dudes. You even look back at like the Heat days. You know, Shane Battier.
Even Jordan Poole for us.
Even Jordan Poole for us, right?
Dude, Rajon Rondo on the Lakers
like
team.
those
like
dudes,
random players. Yeah,
that's true.
Dudes that are playing like they're doing the type of stuff that like that's outside of what
above
was
their pay grade
required for them to do to win.
Mm-hmm.
Like for example,
Yeah.
Otto Porter running split actions for us. I never would have guessed that shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? There's certain things, and so if the Suns have a guy or two guys that are like, for example, if Josh Okogie ends up being like a top 10 defensive wing next year, he takes his defensive, prowess to a whole new level, and then he's knocking down, he's shooting 38% from three. That could be an X factor. Things
or like Eric
that.
Gordon. Eric Gordon
Yeah,
could be
yeah.
one of those type of
Like
guys.
he has like a renaissance, right? But with Phoenix, I don't see any of these dudes having that. I don't, and I'm trying to look at it as objectively as possible, but I just don't see it. I just don't see any of those.
It's not that like the problem is, think about how we're talking about the Suns. There's so many question marks, bro. Like there's so many like, if this happens, then this happens. Like if they can do this, if this guy takes a leap. Like when it's the less you have to rely on those type of factors, the better your chances are of being an actual championship team. Because right now we're just essentially talking about like the potential of like, okay, well, if this happens, if Bradley Beal can set us, you know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot of ifs, and that's where it gets kind of tricky when you're talking about the actual like how confident like are you on the team, to be a championship level team. And when you look at the players that get, this is the problem when you get a bunch of vet min guys, right? Vet min guys they're flyers essentially, right? Like because you're hoping that whatever vet min guy you get is better than the price you got them for, because in NBA terms they're free, right? So when you get one of these guys, it's found money. To your guys' point, Otto Porter Jr., to us last year, Dennis Schroeder, like these type of players. But when you have a team that's so top heavy that all you can do is find vet minimum players, a lot of those guys aren't going to work out. Like, and it's not because anything other than just like there's a reason why they came for the price they came for. And that's where it's like you're essentially going to have to ask a bunch of vet min guys to lift up a team that already has question marks at the very top, like at its core, like at the Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton. Those guys have question marks. So best believe the dudes that are essentially coming for free are going to have those question marks, because every single player, I don't care who it is, bro, even if they're not worth the vet minimum, they're always flawed, like every single time. There's never been a player on a vet min that has signed with the team, even in championship teams, that was not a flawed player, like a very flawed player in at least an aspect of their game. And so that's what you're surrounding an already questionable core with, is a lot of more question marks. And that's where you have to like, all right, well, how good are the Suns? You know what I'm saying?
And
two out
of the three core guys, have question marks defensively.
Exactly. So. It's tricky, man. It's tricky. I don't know. I'm not low on them, but I'm just kind of like, it's a lot of question marks. There's a lot of like, it depends. It's very conditional.
That's actually, and I would say that applies to like even a lot of the contenders, like the Grizzlies, which by the way I don't even think they're a contender, but they're a team that's like still sneaky good. You got Marcus Smart now, like they got, and then so you got a team like the Mavs who got Grant Williams. They got like a couple pieces, like Steph Curry. So it's like, okay, any one of these teams can pop, but like the question is how stable is your core, and that's why with the Warriors, with the Lakers, and even I would say with the Nuggets, because like Jokic is still a dude, like. And Jokic, Murray, and MPJ, like as long as the core is still like at a high, like a really good, high level, and they're playing well, you have a chance. But you're right, like in the margins, those margins can kill you. It killed us last year. Like Poole killed us. Like not having like Otto Porter or like a Saric type killed us. Like you gotta win at the top, but you also gotta win in the margins. So it's tough.
I think that's why the reason why, and obviously we're fans, so there's bias involved. But like when you look at a team like the Warriors, like at the end of the day, you're not questioning Stephen Curry. I don't give a fuck if you hate Steph Curry, if you love Steph Curry, you're just not questioning him, right? You're not questioning the duo of LeBron James and Anthony Davis. Like
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like there's certain things where like there's certain players nowadays you're not questioning Jokic either. You know what I'm saying? Like so there's certain players you don't question Giannis. Like there's like those tier of players where at the top when you don't question them, they're always gonna have a shot no matter what, bro. And so that makes the margins even more important. And that's why I still look at Phoenix, bro, and I'm like, I have questions about Kevin Durant. I know KD's a bucket, bro, but at the end of the day, like as the guy, where is Kevin Durant, right? Like,
right, he's not in that tier of
when he was on the Warriors. I know people run with this narrative. That was Steph Curry's team. Teams were fully forced to stop Steph Curry, even in the championships that they won. Like, Kevin Durant still has to show, okay, bro. Even in Brooklyn, like, dude, James Harden came there and was playing like an MVP, right? Kyrie was amazing.
Yeah.
KD, could you really? You know what I'm saying? Like it's just
100%.
I don't know.
And you know what?
I question the top.
I think so. This season was, there were some moves. Bradley Beal's a big move, and there's some moves, but like, I think this next off season is gonna be. I know we say this every year, but like, I think it like is if the Suns don't win, if the Lakers have their thing, the Warriors, bro. I'm telling you, if you think players are safe now, bro, Klay Thompson's future is not as certain people think. Like that shit, man. I'm telling you, behind the scenes from the stuff that I've heard, like there's just it's a little wonky over there. So like there's some noise, and then you look at the only team that's like kind of stable the next like few seasons is Denver, probably just because of like their core. But like the Lakers, the Warriors, the Suns, like they have a lot of question marks. Even the Bucks with Giannis, I'm telling you, bro. I have on good authority. There's some,
Giannis, Embiid might be out the door. The thing about the Lakers is like they have stability everywhere else except for
with LeBron.
We have no idea what LeBron James is going to do.
Exactly.
And he drastically changes the outlook of the Lakers if he's not on that team. So like,
I think if you lose LeBron, I would put you to the tier of like the Grizzlies. Like you're like right there.
Yeah, like outside looking in of a contender.
I mean, even the Grizzlies. It's funny because I still think if the Grizzlies played perfect, they could probably win the title. It's just the problem is it's hard to play perfect. Like
they'd have to play perfect, and a lot of shit would have to also go their way. Like with other guys, has to be some type of injury. There'd have to be a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? That's
100%.
That would be like a Bucks chip. Like when the Bucks won the chip, people don't talk about this. But a lot of shit with the Bucks.
Oh no, you're right.
To win a championship, bro. Like
that's a good point.
It has to be like that because the Bucks might not even have been the third best team that season.
The Celtics had us on the ropes. Like they did have us on the fucking ropes. But from a matchup standpoint, like I swear to God, like I've said this for years now, the hardest team that we played was the Grizzlies. Like in the season of
that year,
it was the hardest matchup. Because Jaren Jackson was a problem. Ja was like I know Ja like had some good scoring games, but like that.
Dude, you guys had a fake Dylan Brooks game. You had a fucking game where Dylan Brooks looked amazing.
Game 6, Brooks had like 36
fake-ass game.
Bro, and then Tyus Jones was like a problem. That game 5, they beat us by 50, bro. Like, fuck.
Oh my God, bro. I forgot about that.
They killed us.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
This is about the Grizzlies, man. Jaren Jackson, you put that dude, like, if Phoenix had a Jaren Jackson.
Oh my God, bro.
It's a wrap. It's a wrap.
I'm telling you.
There's a lot of teams, if you put him on that team, they're winning a championship.
We talk about guys that move the needle a lot, especially this offseason we have. Dude, that guy, that's one of the guys that moves the needle, like hypothetically, on a team that's a contending team in the West more so than many like non-superstar players would.
Yeah, no, I can see, bro. Like again when we played them, like, bro, he was killing LeBron, like that shit, bro. I was shook, we were putting LeBron on him, and I was so confident because I'm like, yeah, hell yeah, dude, LeBron. He's so strong. Like I know he's like a 6'8" wing, but dude, he can literally guard centers. That's how strong LeBron is. Even in year 20, like I was completely fine with it. And then when AD got off the floor, dude, Jaren Jackson was destroying. Like it didn't matter who we put on. It could have been Rui, it could have been Bron. Dude, he was like, if he figures out his game offensively, bro, he's gonna become one of the best players in basketball. Like
he's crazy.
he's that away. He's a bag away from like really becoming like a top. I'm talking like top 10, top 15. Like if the offense comes, bro, he's gonna be
that
insane.
series against us, man. He was shooting like 40% from 3 too. Like we couldn't even leave him open. Like we had to close out on him basically. Like after like game 2,
bro. That game 1, bro, he hit like 4 or 5 threes.
Yeah,
in the third quarter, he was.
Yeah, I remember that shit. Yeah, man. Like sometimes, like when you can put that shit together, like like you were saying, Rome, like if he can really develop a consistent offensive game, he's a nightmare.
Yeah, he's gonna be. I'm telling you, like his ceiling is top 10. Like NBA, like the defense is not. It's already there.
It's already there. He's the top
it's
3.
Already there. Yeah. Yeah. Nah, man. He's like a scary. He's a scary player, bro. Like he's like, I don't know if he'll ever figure it out, but then at the same time, dude, he's 23 years old.
Yeah, he's only 23.
Which is insane.
I put him right up there.
Yo, I forget how young. Like
AD.
I don't even remember. Like the thing, I don't like keep catalog of how young these dudes are, but like I forget how young some of these. Like 23 is fucking
dude,
young.
Dre, he was literally in the Asian draft with Luka.
Yeah, you're right. What was he at?
Fourth. He went fourth.
Fourth.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Like, dude, he's a child. He's 20, bro. He's 2 years younger than Austin Reeves. Bro.
Dude. We just drafted Trace Jackson Davis, and I'm so excited for him. And it's like he's the same age as fucking Jaren Jackson. Like,
dude,
bro,
like, listen, bro. I never got to talk to you about him. He's gonna be good, bro.
I know.
You know who he played with, right? He played with Jalen Hood-Schifino. Like
in Indiana.
He was the best player of the team, though. Like he was. They played through him, bro. They played through him. Like he was the first option on that team. Like essentially, Jalen Hood-Schifino's game was setting the table for him, and he was, dude, athlete. Like he reminds me of Jackson Hayes. Like he's a fucking athlete. Like he is jumping out the gym, like catching lobs. Like he's just an athletic player, bro. Like I think
his
high on him.
Making is super, super promising as well. I mean, he makes you could see it from his film. You know, his tape in college. He makes some really nice reads. Even the little flashes that we saw him in summer league, man. Some of the finds that this guy was, he was just whip around passes. You know, he already looks pretty good. He has the tools, the athletic tools defensively to be really good inside. Like, I know he might not get that much run this year, especially with Steve, but yeah, man, really excited about it.
I think he was a Steve pick, so I think he will. Like,
I think he might play, man.
I hope he does, because I know he has the contract with the discussions with his, obviously Mike and his brother, Dre, just the whole, he slipped. They guaranteed him the contract. They said, okay, you're going to second round. Yeah. For sure he'll have a roster spot. Then I feel like I feel like he could play himself into some minutes, and if he goes out there, I know he's not going to have much of a leash, but dude, this guy could be act big from day one.
I was watching him.
I really believe that.
He's already 23 too. He's not that young.
Yeah,
so he's not going to take that much time to mold himself into like
exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
So watching Wiseman in summer league like 2 years ago, right? Or 1 year about 2 years ago. And then watching Trace Jackson this year, it's like, and it's not like a Wiseman thing, but it's like you see what a 19-year-old versus like a 23-year-old, like even though Wiseman's like better, quote unquote, on paper, like he's the number 2 pick, he's like more raw talent, he's more athletic, like all those like tools and potential, and he has, more skilled mid-range and all that stuff. But like, bro, I was watching TJD defensively because I watch the game through a different lens. I don't watch about like buckets, but like, can you do the other stuff? Because at the end of the day, Steph Curry gets buckets. Klay Thompson, Wiggins, they get buckets. Can you do the other stuff? And so I'm watching TJD through like a defensive lens, and I'm like, holy shit! Like he's doing these stunt and recovers and the cat and mouse in the pick and roll, like cat and mouse, like boom boom.
Yeah.
He's stunting and recovering to the big, allowing time for them to recover. Like he's doing so many advanced things defensively, and even though it's just summer league, like Wiseman wasn't doing that even in summer league. Like he just looked lost on defense. So it's just
Dre, I think he has a chance. He has an opportunity from the standpoint that the stuff that he can do defensively, his especially to be able to recover, just immediately as a hybrid rim protector. You could put him on some athletic fours maybe as well. Sarge can't do that stuff. a lot of that stuff off the bench. So just from a roster construction standpoint, we don't really have anybody off the bench that can do the stuff that he can do. So if he gets in there and he's contributing, he's doing all that stuff, and it's translating right away, you can't keep him on the bench. You got to give him run.
Bro, based on what I've kind of gathered is that it sounds like Steve's up for an extension after this year, and the front office wasn't happy with how he pulled off last year, so they're giving him a chance, and they're basically handing him the keys. So they're like, I think TJD, I think Pods, like that was Steve's picks, and they're like, look, Steve, we're gonna give you the keys. It's all you now. You're gonna make these executive decisions with the draft and with all these roster moves and who you want. And I think next season, if we don't win the title, I'm not so sure he gets extended, personally. But, I mean, maybe if we make the finals, whatever, or if we make a competitive run and its tweaks are needed. But, it depends. Next season is going to be huge for us because Clay and Steve, their futures are not as certain as people think. I'm telling you.
Clay, bro, he's going to have to take a really hard look in the mirror, I think. And, I think just the money. I think he can.
The money.
I think there's a chance of him to come back, but he might not like the dollar amount. But you guys have to get out of this tax hell that you guys are in, this apron hell that you guys are in, and he's a big key to it. And I think you just can't pay a guy the same way when they're not performing. You know what I'm saying? He's not the Clay of old.
100%.
Whether or not he can turn into that remains to be seen. But if he doesn't, bro, you can't rely on that. You know what I'm saying? You can't pay this dude to be the second highest dude on the team and not be the second highest, most impactful player. You know what I'm saying?
So
this is what happens with basketball. It's the business side of it. It's if you're not gonna be, this type of player and give me this type of production, I can't pay you.
I 100% agree. I think here's the scenario where it can get a little bit dicey. So if he goes out next season, right? Assuming his health, he's got his legs under him. I know some nights he does.
Comes into shape, all that.
He's healthy, but he gives you say 22.5, 23 a game on 42% from three.
Ooh,
he's pretty efficient. He's a positive. As long as
true shooting percentage or higher,
barring any types of setbacks and just minor dinks and stuff here and there with just management of his lower body injuries, his ACL and his Achilles, just barring load management, and he gives you that type of production. He comes back in the offseason. Let's say they don't work out a deal before the season starts. He comes back and he's like, "Look, man, I think I'm looking at a 3-year, $100 million." That's where it gets dicey because he has the leverage to ask that, especially, not even from a legacy contract standpoint, but he played himself into it. Let's say we get, like Dre said, we go pretty far, maybe we make the finals, and he plays himself into that contract. Then it becomes one of those things where it's do you think he's going to hold up to that level for 3 more years? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I have to see it. I have to see it myself. I'm being a former athlete. I've been through 2 ACL surgeries. Fuck, man. I'll tell you what, man. When Clay coming back, when he came back to do what he was able to do and contribute the way that he contributed to help us win the ring, I was shocked. So I give him a little bit of a pass for not necessarily a full pass, but an understanding of him coming into the next offseason, necessarily not so much in shape, man. What he put his body through, been gone through it, what he put his fucking body through to do what he did. And that when he came back for that championship run, man, he just freaking chilled, man. He really went in recovery mode. He wasn't going nearly as hard as he was trying to get back. So I get all of that. But, long term, if his health is there and he's contributing like that, shit, dude, that's where it's going to get dicey. That's where it's from a contract negotiation standpoint. That's where it gets complicated.
Yeah, I mean, but even if you look at Draymond, because Draymond got, what did he get? 4 years, 100.
Yeah, which was a bargain.
Yeah, got 4 years.
Dude, he took a pay cut, bro. And I'm not saying, that it's not, he shouldn't have. I think that's actually pretty fair for Draymond, especially if you just considering the Warriors, just considering everything, him coming back and all that. I'll tell you right now, I think some team was gonna offer him more than that. I think the Blazers we're open to offering him probably closer to
The
30 mil
Kings.
per
The Kings.
year. I think the Kings open up cap space thinking, hey, how about 33 a year, Draymond? Like
I'm
I
not
think
gonna lie. I think
he
if
may have
Draymond
turned
does,
stuff down though, Dre.
if he doesn't punch Jordan, I think he's probably making 30 million. I'm telling
Yeah,
you.
I could see. That's what I'm saying. Like I really think like I really genuinely think like he turned down more money though to stay
No,
with the
he
Warriors.
did. He did longer term, all that. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
Like he said on Pat Bev's pod, he's like, yeah, Joe told me like, this isn't just a contract. This is like, you're with us for life, and I don't know if that's like just him just saying that for like content or whatever, but at the end of the day, like I think it matters to be to retire a Warrior, to be here for your entire career, but also I think he understands like he did cost himself some money, and he does have unfinished business with that. Like, bro, he literally I think he cost himself probably 20 to 30 million punching Jordan. Like, the same way Jordan made more money after getting punched is the same way Draymond lost money after the punch. Like, bro, if he doesn't punch Jordan, even if he plays the exact same way, or even a little worse, he probably gets around 29, 31 million, like something like 4 years, one third, 128 or something, something like that. Like,
yeah. No, I agree. Yeah, it's tough, man. Clay has to follow that route though. You know what I'm saying?
100%,
Like
100%. Yeah.
he has to go. Like it has to be like, bro, listen, like if you guys want to extend this window that we have, like you have to be the casualty. Like you're you know what I'm saying? And he's made a lot of money. It's not like he hasn't, bro. Like he's made a lot of money. It's not,
he's the sacrifice the least out of the core guys and guys that we've had that have helped contribute to win championships. He's from a personal standpoint and financial standpoint, he's sacrificed the least. So this would be a first in a way.
100%, man.
I don't know. I mean, and I think he'll take a good hard look at himself, depending on how this year goes for him, and how it goes for the team. And I think he'll do what's right. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, like Draymond's been very toxic, but it takes a lot to take a pay cut. I'm sorry, like it just does. It is like to take a pay cut,
especially for your last long term.
I just watched Bruce Brown win a championship with the Nuggets, and he just went to go play with the Pacers because they offered him an insane amount of money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
he just won a championship. Like he easily could have said, you know what? Let's just do the MLE. I know you guys are gonna pay me on the back end in a year or two. He said, nah, bro, money is right here. I need this shit right now. Like that shit is. You're not in the NBA for that long, bro. Like once you're out of the NBA, you're out of the NBA. You know what I'm saying? So like make as much as you can. And so to take a pay cut is bigger than yourself. Like you know what I'm saying? And that takes a lot. Yeah. That takes a lot. But I think if he's seeing Draymond do something like that, I think he'll also follow suit. But Wiggins, that's definitely your guys' question mark. Bro, what in the world? Like Wiggins taking a pay cut was one of the most underrated things I have seen from a dude coming off being an all-star starter, like having a career year, literally like winning a championship as the second best player. Yes. In my opinion, I thought he was the second best player for you guys.
Yeah, for sure.
And like to take a pay cut and essentially make less money than a dude y'all just split for Chris Paul, like.
I know.
You ultimate respect for Wiggins, bro.
I love Wiggins.
He has one of the most financially friendly contracts to a team in the entire organ.
Like, I think he's like a top 5 bag in the NBA.
Ridiculous.
I think number 1, and no bias, but I think Austin Reeves.
Reeves. He's making
for him to make $56 million over 4 years is nuts, bro.
Yeah, I thought he was getting off.
Rui's on a pretty cost control contract, but Rui's also not as good as Wiggins.
No, Reeves. Here's the thing with Reeves is that Reeves is young, and it's not like usually if you look at like the way the numbers work. Like actually, I kind of did this one day. I was like, oh, okay, how do these numbers work? Usually it's about $1 million per point, and then if you're a really good defender, they'll tack on like another 5 to 10. If you're a really good playmaker, they'll tack on like another 5. But like Reeves making 14, well, he averages like 13 points, 15 points, something like that, and then he gives you like 6 assists.
I'm gonna tell you guys a fun fact with Reeves though, and the reason why he didn't get that bag. He was actually going to get offered The Spurs were going to offer him 98 or 97 million, but what happened was this Dame shit. So shout out to Damian Lillard. Damian Lillard requesting that trade. The Spurs took it upon themselves to try to potentially be involved with the deal and facilitating the 3-team deal, or maybe even 4-team, depending on what would happen. And so they decided that they're going to need that salary cap because the Lakers would have waited until the moratorium was over to match Austin Reeves' offer sheet. And so Damian Lillard, bro, actually was the reason why Austin didn't get paid. So I love you, Damian Lillard. Thank you for being a fucking trying to take over the show and do all this at this time, because it got us Austin Reeves $50 million cheaper. That's actually the real reason why
that's huge.
He didn't get that bag. Yeah, it's crazy. And then with the Rockets, I think they're interested in him, but I think the whole Fred VanVleet and they were looking at so many guys. Like they were looking at Fred, they were looking at Brook Lopez, they were looking at obviously Dylan Brooks. Like they had a ton of dudes that they were like interested in getting, so they couldn't tie up, you know, a crazy offer sheet like that with an Austin Reeves. So yeah, Damian Lillard though. Damian Lillard. That's what I was told. Damian Lillard is the reason why he didn't get that bag, bro.
I believe it. Yeah. No, speaking of the Rockets, dude, that's gonna be funny to watch, bro.
Oh my god, that shit's hilarious,
yeah,
bro.
like,
I don't even know.
From the coach to like Dylan Brooks to Fred VanVleet, like just like a weird fit next to Jalen Green, and you got Jabari Smith, and then you got they signed Jeff Green.
Dude,
like,
but
bro,
great. Amin Thompson, he's fucking
oh my
good.
gosh, yeah,
he
dude.
is. I was low on the Thompson twins. Both of them are stars in the making, bro. They're gonna be stars.
They're gonna be.
Oh my god, those dudes are so good at basketball. Like oh my god, bro. Like oh my god, bro.
Yeah, I think Amen plays one either Porter or Green off the roster.
Oh yeah, dude.
They just don't need any. You know, one of them's not going to be needed.
I'm Ime Udoka, bro. Fred, listen, you got paid. You just come off the bench, bro. I want to see Amin Thompson at the 1, Jalen Green at the 2. Like I want to see these young dudes, bro. I'm sorry, the fucking Rockets aren't winning a goddamn thing. Play these young guys, bro. Amin Thompson needs the ball in his hands, bro.
He's a freak.
Watching him was mind-boggling, bro. And like I watched Wemby, I watched Scoot, I love Summer League. I love Summer League. I love watching young players. I watched Pods. I thought Pods was actually pretty solid. Right? I'm pretty high on Pods too. But bro, Amin Thompson, he looks unreal, and the reason why is because the athleticism there, the defense there. But bro, the playmaking, I did not know he could set. Yeah. Bro, he is a playmaker, bro. Oh my god! If the 3-ball ever becomes legit, that's a star. He's a star.
They got.
Oh man.
Yeah, he looks like he's no joke. He looks better than his brother does, actually.
Yeah, man.
I thought his brother looked better in the G League.
Yeah, no, Amin. Yeah, I thought Asor was playing. I had Asor over Amin too.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. I definitely had him over. Just because I was like, he's kind of more wingy. He's kind of more of a wing, and Amin plays more like a guard. But, dude, this he's legit, bro. He's so legit.
Yeah, he's no joke.
I'm mad that he's probably coming off the bench. I'm very pissed about that.
I think by the All-Star break, man, I think he's starting. I think Porter, I think it would be Porter, Green is to the maybe they move him probably maybe later down the line they move him, but I think one of those guys is on the bench, bro.
I hope Amin starts at some point because he not starting a guy like that is it's insane. Like I can't. I don't know. Especially when you're not gonna win.
I gotta be on a flight in a few hours, but hey, this was a crazy conversation, crazy playback. Like I loved every minute of it, every second, just like all the convo. And hey, Rome, I sent you the DM. Make sure you follow those steps. And then, hey, everybody, when Rome creates his playback, there's only 50 people in here, but whoever's listening or still up, make sure to join Rome's room when he creates it, because Rome, he coaches them. They have great content, so always support them. And dude, this went for 3 hours. It's crazy. Hey, the combo never stops, man. I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, no, like I said, man, it feels like the old days, man. Definitely feels like the
100%.
old days, bro.
Appreciate y'all. Rome was dope
Absolutely.
chatting you free.
Hey,
Yeah,
I'll
same,
be in the
bro, same.
I'll be in the Bahamas for the next week, but
Oh shit!
I'll tap in. No, yeah, I gotta be on a flight in like 4 hours, so
Damn,
I
enjoy
got to
yourself, bro. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm up. I'm probably gonna sleep on the flight because I gotta take a shower now. I gotta do so much shit, but I wanted to keep the combo going because, dude, this shit, we've been talking so much good stuff.
I just came up to say, remember Nobu?
Yeah, I know Nobu. I got you. I'll go to Nobu. All right, and
Hey,
then
you're gonna find out when people troll me about that. You're gonna find out.
yeah, I'll be back in a week, but I'll be on Spaces. I'll be on Playback. I'll be on here and there, but yeah, I'm gonna peace out now. But hey, appreciate Rome for sure. Appreciate everybody for on stage and everybody in the chat for staying up this late. And like I said, join Rome's room when he creates his room. And I don't think I'm missing anything else. Yeah, Rome, if you have any questions or whatever, they might ask you for referrals. For referrals, you can put me and then All Access Lakers if you want.
Okay.
Just as like it might speed up the process, just because like I guess there's like more. It's just more like juice to it. Like okay,
Yeah,
like you're already familiar with like other rooms, so like that kind of thing. And I think I like covered everything. But yeah, any questions, and you can Shub, you can always hit him up.
I'll hit you up for sure. I'll definitely let you know.
All right, man. Yeah, good luck with that, and yeah, appreciate everybody, and peace out, man. Appreciate y'all.
Sir.
Good night, gang.
Good night. Good night.